everyone. Hello. Hello. Good June to you all. So it's a new month. I'm very excited to be here today in particular. Hold on. My cat lamp turned off. I knew something was amiss. It's my cat lamp. 1 second. Hold on. Forget I didn't start yet. Or pretend I didn't start yet. There we go. Forget. Okay, I fixed it. Hello. Boy. So, new goals, very exciting. Started the sub goal fresh, even though I usually start that on Sunday because it won't stop starting for me. So I was like, I'm going to take control of it. And then also, Goose, I got up to put the lamp on. And when I was 20 seconds, Goose was in the chair. He's on a roll today. You'll see him. Hi, War. I saw you just subscribed 51 months. That is such a long time. Thank you so much for continuing to be a valued member of this community.
You go, girl.
So now instead of a birthday fund, it's a gig fund. I was trying to think of a better pun, but everything else I was coming up with sounded like I was saying like preg, which is a different thing. And not what we're doing here. So it's the gag fund. See, he's on a tear. But I'm really excited because we met our fund goal last month for my birthday. I am feeling better. Yesterday was just not a good day. I simply couldn't do it, unfortunately. But today, I'm very excited because I got a good amount of rest, and I'm so ready to do our egg fund goal reward, which was we're gonna do a Give Yourself Goosebumps book live. Wow! And the people of Patreon voted, and I did get all 3 books. I have all 3 of them. They're all here. But Secret Agent Grandma won in a landslide. Sorry to Under the Magician's Spell and Curse of the Creeping Coffin. You look great, and I do own you now, so that will be in future polls if we decide to do this again. I imagine we will. But Secret Agent Grandma, it's the right color and everything. It's my purple. If I don't get goosebumps from reading it, I should get my money back. You're right. I will let the used bookstore that I got it from know. I also have my soda ready to go. I have chilled several sodas in anticipation of needing them. Hello, Sarah the G. Great to see you. So yes, thank you to everyone on Patreon who voted for what book we would do. I was secretly hoping that you would pick this one because I really like this one. And so I'm glad that it all worked out. I did wear purple for Gay Pride Month. Okay. Without further ado, I think we should get started. I have no other screen to go to. It's just this today. I have this blank piece of paper that I pulled from my Nancy Drew notebook, which I will either tear into bookmarks or write stuff down. I'll probably just tear into bookmarks because that's easier, but I do have a pen in case I want to just write down page numbers.
In there like
Seems easier to tear though, right? Yeah. Hamspray, you just resubscribed. Tier 1, 17 months in a row, but 44 total. Thank you so much for continuing to be a valued member of this community.
You go, girl.
You can feel free to drink if it's stupid and drink if it's scary. I have a non-alcoholic beverage here because Twitch doesn't like when you get hammered on stream, allegedly. But also because I know what my recording sessions looked like during Goose Drunks, and I simply don't want to do that live. But you can feel free to play along. Just do it responsibly. I will be drinking my Diet Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar Creamy Coconut. Shall we begin? Wait, I'm gonna pre-tear a couple strips here for bookmarks. My cat lamp! Son of a bitch! Hold on, I have to fix this. We can't do this without the cat lamp. We're not even getting music here. You're just gonna listen to me yell at this cat lamp until it works. Why? Why won't you behave? To what end? I thought we were friends. Cat lamp, how could you? Well, I have to like turn my laptop on because that's what it's plugged into. So I have to like log into my work computer so that my cat lamp can feed from its mighty juices. Okay, hold on. I've got this. I'm typing in a password, but I'm not saying it out loud because I'm responsible. Okay, cat lamp should be good to go now. Hopefully. Goose! Okay, he's fine. He stole my chair for 2 seconds, but he's got the zoomies, so he wasn't there long. All right. Oh, yes, the high five slapper. Where did that go? I don't... The high five slapper is, I think, elsewhere right now. I do have this slappy mask, which is similar. I did steal the chair from Goose. You're right. Okay. Whew. Where is Slappy? Slappy's resting. I could get him, but I just don't know where I'd put him. You know what I mean? No, I'll get him. Hold on. Slappy, wake up, buddy. The people want to see you. Pull your pants up, my man. His pants are falling off because he's a pervert. You guys just get to look at the cat lamp now. I worked so hard for it. As I try to get this old man to keep his clothes on. All right. Slappy. Hey, buddy. Oof. Where will I even, how will I even put him, you know? Let's see. Like so? Does that work? Yeah, that works. Perfect. You seem uncomfortable. Hands in lap. Be polite. There we go. Yeah, just a little straighten him up a bit. He looks like Ronald Reagan. That's not untrue. Okay. Slappy's not even in this book. You fucking posers. All right. Now, Secret Agent Grandma. Now, for those of you who haven't been here for a live read of these things, usually what I do is I go through until there's a choice, then I make a bookmark, and then I make a choice. And we just organically go through and we play it. And then we go back and we see how our different choices would have affected things. Usually in these books, there's one major choice that splits the book into half. These are usually kind of two stories where like if you'll see on the cover here, Grandma's an alien. Yes. So theoretically, and I don't remember how the endings of this book goes, but in theory, there's going to be one major decision we make where in this way she's an alien and this way it's something else. So I am not going to read the explanation of how Choose Your Own Adventure books work. I think we know how they work, correct? Yes. And if my voice needs a break, we'll play Tetris or something. Or a round of Fortnite. Who knows? Whatever. I gotta satiate my bloodlust somehow. Okay. time to read. I remember how. Let's go. Nothing is going to happen to me, you shout down to your mother. She gazes up at you from the bottom of the stairs. Her packed suitcases sit waiting by the front door. You recognize that worried look on her face. Do you remember everything I told you? She asks, her forehead wrinkles in concern. Or should I write it? My phone is not on silent. Phone, stop letting everyone know that I forgot to put you on silent. Okay. Or should I write it down? Mom, I'm not a baby. You plop onto the top step of the staircase and repeat your instructions for the 5th time. I take a cab to the railroad station. I wait on the platform on the incoming side of the station. Grandma's train arrives at 1 p.m. Hey, it's almost 1 p.m. now. I'll know her by the yellow stretch pants and purple shirt she'll be wearing. Then, if she hasn't been arrested by the fashion police for wearing such a wacko outfit, don't make fun of your grandmother, your mother cuts in. She's unusual, but I'm sure you two will get along fine. It is weird I have to go pick her up. I'm 10. Your mother's right. How did Dad sound? Your dad adds, coming through the front door. Your grandma is full of surprises. Yeah, sure, you think. How's some little old lady gonna surprise me? Your dad picks up the remaining suitcases and heads back out to the car. Your mother doesn't move. You flash her your most trustworthy smile. Trustworthy. Yes, we don't know what our grandma looks like. I think Overlord Zaylor, if I may. It's possible we haven't hung out with our grandma in many, many years. And given the fact that we are 10, it does feel reasonable that we might not recognize her. This is also the premise of the movie The Visit by M. Night Shyamalan, a movie I recommend. Don't look up anything else about it, just watch it. It's a great movie. She sighs. I guess you'll be all right, she says uncertainly. Of course I will, you assure her. What could happen? You follow your mom out to the car and wave as your parents drive away. The moment their car turns the corner, you leap into the air. Freedom, you cry. No parents for a whole week. Just a 75-year-old grandma. She'll probably spend the whole time snoozing on the sun porch. You'll practically be on your own. The cab arrives and you hop in. You instruct the driver to take you to the train station. But as he nears the station, you have a pang of doubt. You haven't seen your grandmother since you were a little kid. See? You wonder if you'll recognize her. That's the issue, isn't it? Okay, worry until page 3. We're still just going in order here. He accidentally wrote a normal book. And it just instructs you to go to this next page every single time. The Book of Henry is a bad movie that it was... Oh, if you guys didn't notice, this is Noodle down here. He's being cute. Look at him. You see him? He's flopping. One sec. Hi, baby. He's right there. Book of Henry is a bad movie that you shouldn't look up anything about before you watch it. The Visit is a great movie that you shouldn't look up anything about before you watch it. Noodle is very noodly today, yes. And Goose seems to have calmed down from his tizzy. He does have the sweetest little face, it's true. Okay. Speaking of faces, you may not recognize Grandma's face, but you tell yourself, but you'll definitely spot her purple and yellow outfit. Besides, she'll know you from the photos your parents sent her. Oh, Jiminy's Journal, you just tipped $4.20, one of the funny numbers. Thank you so much. You're the tippy top. You pay the driver and hop out. Hey, that's weird, you think. Why was your name announced over the loudspeaker? You rush to the information booth inside the station, wondering what could be wrong. You just paged me, you tell the young man in the booth. You've got a call. He hands you a phone. Hello? There's a lot of static on the line. You can barely hear, but it's definitely your mom's voice. We're on the plane. Home immediately. What? I can't hear you, you shout into the phone. Do you want me to go home? What about Grandma? Danger! ... Grandmother! ... That's all you hear. Then The line goes dead. Turn to page 108. Yes, our parents got on the plane sooner than we got to the train station. The train station's very far away. But the most important thing is danger, ... grandmother, ... And then turn to page 108, ... This was the 90s. A chill runs through you. What was your mother trying to say? Is your grandmother in trouble? Is there danger at the station? Yeah, the trains go so fast. Of course there's danger. As you hand the phone back to the information clerk, the whole train station begins to rumble. Could this be what your mother was trying to warn you about? It's just the fucking train. We would have been fooled by that movie. You know the one. Should you get out of there and go home, or are you supposed to find your grandmother? If you get out of there right away, turn to page 12. If you stay to find grandma, turn to page 33. This is guaranteed where the book splits into 2 stories. So this is critical. For smaller ones, I'm not going to do a poll every single time, but this one's major. We're making a poll. Wait, I'm going to check and make sure it's not a fake out where they're like, what are you doing? You're supposed to find your grandmother. And then I'm going to make a poll. It is a fake out, JK. I should have done the poll anyway. It would be funny to get out of there right away, so I'm going to do that. And because I spoiled it, it's fake out. The station rattles and shakes around you. Your hands clutch the information counter so tightly your fingers cramp. A framed picture on the wall behind the clerk crashes to the floor. Get me out of here! You spin and dash out of the station. Your heart pounds and your breath comes in gasps as you race along the sidewalk. Whoops! Too bad you weren't looking where you were going. Otherwise, you would have seen the garbage truck before you landed in the middle of the gunk, the goo, and the gross slime. Ew! Hold your nose and close the book quickly. You stink. You've come to a very smelly end, so you fall into a garbage truck if you try to leave the book before the book starts as punishment. We got isekai'd into a garbage can. That's what that means, right? So let's stay and find grandma. You can't go home without your grandmother, even if you feel as if you're in the middle of an earthquake. You clutch the information counter to keep from falling over. You smile at the clerk, hoping to mask your fear. Train coming, the clerk informs you, obviously, shouting over the noise. Every time one comes in, this old station rattles like a baby toy. I knew that, you fib. You hope the clerk doesn't notice how white your knuckles are. The rattling stops with a loud screech of brakes. You make your way out onto the platform just as the doors to the train open. Mobs of people push their way out the doors. You scan the crowd, searching for an old lady in yellow pants and a purple shirt. No luck. Hey, what are you doing here? A mysterious voice who has calls that has no defining qualities yet. Returning to page 4 is what we're doing here. Though. Oh. See, I wouldn't have guessed this. You're surprised to see your friends Chuck and Ginny rushing toward you. Hey guys, you greet them. I'm here to meet my grandmother. How about you? We're going to the hockey game, remember? Chuck tells you. I invited you. You remember, you couldn't go because of Grandma's arrival. Our mums are letting us take the train on our own, Ginny adds. Their names are Chuck and Ginny. Chuck is obviously Southern and Ginny is obviously English, right? Of course, we had to promise to stay out of trouble. Ginny giggles, as if. Have fun with Grandma, Chuck teases. They board the train. You sigh jealously as you scan the thinning crowd. Still no grandmother. It would be crazy if we never saw them again. Is this what your mother had been trying to tell you? That your grandmother wasn't coming after all? You're about to leave the station when you hear something that stops you in your tracks. Something terrible. What makes your blood run cold? Find out on page 86. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, buddy. Are you here to help me make choices? Hi. Hello. One sec, everybody. I have to give him Scritch. What you doing? He's like, why is my favorite man on the counter here? Noodle. Hi. So much to step over. Yeah, I know. Let's move this open can of soda. Hiya. Hi, you're so cute. Whoop. I got you. Don't worry, Slappy. Don't do that. Okay. He's like, what if I chomp your lights? Don't. What about don't do that? Cookie over here. I don't know how grandma sounds right now. I can't do my old lady voice because my voice will not like it. You shudder at hearing, for the whole thing, there's no way. You shudder at hearing your old nickname. You hate that name. Luckily, Ginny and Chuck aren't around to hear it. Cookie! You turn toward the voice. At the end of the station, you see a woman with white hair. She's waving wildly. No way to mistake her for anyone else. Not in those clothes. You wave back, approaching her cautiously. Anyone who would call you Cookie is likely to pinch your cheeks, too. As you stroll down the platform, something catches your eye. Bright red letters scrawled across one of the train windows. A message. If your mother hadn't made that strange phone call, you wouldn't have thought twice about it, but now you have an odd feeling. Maybe the message is meant for you? That would be weird, right? You gaze at the train window. You read the red letters out loud. Emple. You mutter. What does it mean? It doesn't sound familiar. EMPLEH, for the record. Maybe it's not an English word. That terrible nickname interrupts your thoughts. Cookie, I'm waiting for a big hug and kiss. Exactly what you were afraid of. Hi, Grandma. You stop several inches away from her, just beyond her reach. Wrong! Grandma throws her arms around you, squeezing you hard. So hard you can barely breathe. Finally, she releases you. Cabs are at the end of... I don't know who's talking anymore. Cabs are at the other end of the station, you gasp, trying to catch your breath. Grandma follows behind you, chattering all the way. She asks about your school, your parents, and your mother's rose bushes. On the way out of the station, you pass the train window with the message again. It's still there. I've got it, you think. I know what it means. Do you really? If you know what it says, turn to page 14. If you need help to figure it out, turn to page 129. What if I'm a stupid child and I need help? What if I don't know what it means? I know what it means, but I want to know what they tell the children. Wait, hold on. Does that take you down a different path if you're too stupid to figure out the puzzle? Oh my God, I think it does. I think if you're too stupid to figure out the puzzle, it takes you down a different path. That's very funny. Yes, it does. That is the decision right there. Is if you are stupid, you go this way, and if you know what to do, you go this way. I know what to do because I'm a smart 10-year-old. So I'm going to turn to page 14 because I know what it says. But we're going to bookmark it because that's where it divides. That is funny. They're punishing me for not knowing how to do a puzzle. I'm 10. You know what the letters spell. It's so simple that you laugh at yourself for not getting it sooner. And they're still like, you got it, but we weren't that fast about it. We know. Emple. Whoever wrote the message on the inside of the window didn't realize it would be read backward on the outside, so they're the stupid ones. Emple is help me, written backwards. You say it out loud. What did you say, dear? Grandma asks, do you need help with something? You are about to tell her about the message when something you see inside the train stops you. You stare past the letters on the window and into the compartment. Your eyes widen. You blink several times. You take a step closer to the window. Your nose presses up against the glass. How tall are you? You don't believe what you're seeing. Has R.L. Stein never seen a train before? What the fuck? What has you glued to the train window? Find out on page 98. Nothing, unless we're the world's tallest child. You gaze at the startling scene through the window. Inside the train compartment, a woman struggles fiercely with two men. The men wear tan overcoats and large, dark sunglasses. But it's the woman who holds your attention. A white-haired woman wearing yellow stretch pants and a purple shirt. She's a dead ringer for your grandma. The two thug-like men yank her under each arm and lift her out of the seat. Her terrified eyes lock onto yours as she's dragged roughly into the aisle, then pull her toward the door at the far end of the car. Hurry to page 54. Yeah, the other path, you just go home. That's what happens. It goes to totally different pages. You go home. Whatever happens to this grandma doesn't matter. That message wasn't for you. Is something wrong? A voice asks behind you. You turn and face your grandmother standing on the platform. She and the woman on the train could be twins. What's going on? Is this woman really your grandmother, or is your real grandmother in terrible trouble on the train? Shouldn't we be getting a taxi, Cookie? You stare at her. Could you have made a mistake? All aboard, the conductor shouts. The train lets out an exhausted wheeze, then slowly pulls forward. You could jump on the train now and find out if the woman in danger is your real grandma. Or you could assume the woman standing in front of you is the right woman. After all, she recognized you, and you didn't get a good look at the woman on the train. It's now or never. What are you going to do? Okay, this I will put up to a poll. Which grandma's the real grandma? I'm typing it all out. Which grandma? Train grandma? No train grandma. I'm giving us 2 minutes, and I'm starting the poll now. Okay, which grandma is it? There's simply too many grandma. Everyone is saying train grandma immediately. Train grandma is getting an overwhelming amount of votes. One person thinks no train grandma. No train grandma. 2 people are like, I trust this one. It's simply too many grandmas. You're voting train grandma because there's a tiny chance we get involved in a train heist. CJ, that's excellent logic. Really good. No train grandma is catching up, but will it be able to catch up with the runaway train that is train grandma? We'll find out together so soon. Nintendo Spiders, I'm able to check a box that says you can buy additional votes with Worm Doodles, and then I didn't do that because I believe in democracy. A true, fair democracy where you vote on which grandma gets to live and which grandma dies. Okay, I think Train Grandma's going to win this. We're getting near the end here, and it's at 18-5 on the votes. All right. It seems like we're going to go with Train Grandma. I'm keeping the bookmark there in case we need it. So let's leap aboard before the train pulls out and turn to page 110. We gotta help Grandma.
Like
CJ,
swimwear.
you just gifted a tier 1 sub to Nintendo Spiders to help Nintendo Spiders not be jump scared by Taco Bell anti-vape ads anymore. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Nintendo Spiders, congratulations on continuing to be a valued member of this community, whether you like it or not.
You go, girl.
All right. We're all aboard. You have to find out if the woman in trouble is your grandmother. Besides, you're dying to find out why those men in dark glasses were fighting with a little old lady and having such a hard time. The train starts to pull out of the station. You race down the platform, searching for a good spot to jump aboard.
Swimwear.
Your legs and arms pump hard, your muscles straining as you match the speed of the train. Cookie, come back here! What are you doing? Grandma's voice floats after you. If I'm wrong, you think, and the woman on the train isn't my real grandma, I'm going to be in big
I'm in
trouble.
There like swimwear.
But you're not going to back out now. Oh my God, Jack, you just gifted 5 Tier 1 subs, kicking off a hype train for Train Grandma. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. The synergy of this all is
like
phenomenal.
swimwear.
We have to have a hype train going. Choo-choo. You're not going to back out now. You take a deep breath and leap. Will you make it? We land on page 64. We just die.
I'm in
You
there
land
like
on the small
swimwear.
platform between train compartments. You flail your arms as you struggle to regain your balance. Once you feel steady on your feet, you fling the door open. Everyone stares at you as you enter the car. You nervously run a hand through your hair.
I'm in there
You
like
try to act as if
swimwear.
jumping between the cars of a moving train is the most natural thing in the world. Smee by the Sea, you just subscribed Tier 1. Oh my God, this hype train is amazing. Oh, an anonymous gifter gave that to you. That's incredible.
I'm in there like swimwear.
And Overlord Sailor, you're gifting 4 Tier 1 subs. Everyone, thank you so much. This hype train is leaving the station.
I'm in there like
You have a feeling you're
swimwear.
not very convincing. You hurry into the next car. The struggling woman was several cars ahead. You head through the swaying train, planning to pick up the woman's trail from where you'd last seen her. That's good. I mean, it is a train. There's only so many places
I'm
she
in
could
there
be,
like
yeah?
Swimwear.
Oh, and in 10 Spiders, you gifted 500 bits. Secret Ancient Gay Pride Grandmother, thank you so much. Not Secret Ancient? Your joke was ruined? You meant alien. She is old. I don't think that's a
I'm
secret.
in there like
She's a
swimwear.
grandma. Maybe you're in over your head. Those thugs in dark glasses look dangerous. Maybe you need help. If you think you should tell someone what you saw, turn to page 70.
I'm
If you want to
in
follow
there
the
like
woman's trail
swimwear.
yourself, turn to page 80. I am going to make more bookmarks. It's a Game of Grandma Train.
Thanks for your help. Bye.
Okay, I'm just a little kid. I think I can do this myself, though. I'm smart. I figured out what emple. I figured out what emple meant. I can do this. You have a funny feeling no one would believe you if you said you have twin grandmas and one's in trouble on the train. You're not even sure if you believe you. You decide to investigate on your own. You continue through the moving train. You arrive at the compartment with the message in the window. It's smeared, but traces of the red letters are still there. You aren't crazy after all. You search the seat for clues, a lost wallet or luggage, anything to prove the woman's identity. But you find nothing. You get to the door at the far end of the car and reach for the handle. A heavy hand lands on your shoulder. Where do you
I'm
think you're
in there
going?
like
A gruff
swimwear.
voice demands. Uh-oh, who has you in such a strong grip? Quick, flip to page 89. I'm flipping. You wriggle out of the hand's grasp and spin around. The train conductor glares down at you. Then who's driving the train? Darth Credible Hulk, you gifted a sub. Thank you. We are now nearly halfway to a level 4 hype train on a train. It's amazing. It is Strong Grip Gary, Overlord Sailor. That's a good guess. The train conductor glares down at you. Strange, you think. He's wearing dark glasses, just like all bad guys do. I'm editorializing. It doesn't say that. What he says isn't strange at all. Ticket, please. Oops, you
I'm
forgot about
in
needing
there
a
like
ticket.
swimwear.
Now what? Sarah the G, you gifted a sub. This is remarkable. Thank you so much. 65% of the way to a level 4 hype train on a train. Now what? If you stall while you try to figure out a way out of the situation, turn to page 21. If you explain to the conductor the real reason you're on the train, turn to page 92. Should we be truthful or should we be deceitful little bastards? I think we should be deceitful little bastards. Because he's wearing dark glasses. We can't trust him. Gonna lie through our fucking teeth. Ticket? You repeat? You smile up at the conductor. He doesn't smile back. Ticket? Pac-Mantis, you subscribed to Tier 1. You've been subscribed for 6 months. Thank you so much for continuing to be a valued member of this community. Darth Credible Hulk, thank you for the 101 bits. You are a bit of the best. We are 91% of the way to a level 5 hype train. This is the most train a hype train has ever been, frankly.
Bye.
You spot Chuck and Ginny entering the compartment. Why are they on the same train? It's crazy. Hi, I was looking for you. I'm so glad we found the path where we reunite with our friends. It would be so funny if they showed up for one scene and we never saw them again. But that does happen in many other paths in this book. Hi, I was looking for you. You dart past the conductor to join your friends. He wants to see my ticket, you explain. You hope they'll come up with an idea or some cash. If you weren't always late,
Thanks
you would
for your
have
help.
your ticket,
Bye.
Ginny scolds. Then she winks at you. Darth Credible Hulk, 420 bits. That is the funny number. Thank you so much. That's right, Chuck tells the conductor. My mom's picking us up in Evanstown. She'll pay when we arrive. We promised our parents we wouldn't get into trouble, Ginny gushes. No, she doesn't. You want to gag, but Ginny's act works. Okay, the conductor pats Ginny's head. As long as the ticket gets paid for. He strolls out of the train car. What was that about? Chuck demands. Why are you on the train? Aren't you supposed to be with your grandmother? You tell them about the strange scene you witnessed. That woman might be my real grandma, you exclaim. You have to help me search the train. Ginny and Chuck gaze at each other. No way, Chuck begins. Your heart sinks all the way to page 59. That's a long way to go. And we're 7% of the way to a level 5 hype train. That's amazing. The most train any train has ever been. No way are we going to miss out on an adventure like this, Ginny finishes for Chuck. They're really drift compatible, these two. I love that our best friends share one brain. Great, you cry. You quickly explain that you were about to check out the train cars in the direction the thugs had dragged your grandma, or the grandma imposter, whoever. What are we waiting for? Chuck urges. Let's go. The three of you hurry into the next car, and then the car after that, and then the car after that. Are you sure of what you saw? Ginny asks. I mean, why would two tough guys go after somebody's grandmother? Maybe it was just a coincidence that the two ladies were wearing the same clothes, Chuck adds. No, I know what I saw. Sarah the G, 420 bits. That is a funny number. Thank you so much. Inside, you wonder the same thing. You arrive at the last car. On the door is a yellow sign with large black letters. No entry. You notice Ginny and Chuck exchange a worried look. Before they can change their minds about helping you, you yank open the door. The three of you pile into the car. You gasp, stunned by the shocking sight in front of you. What's going on? Find out on page 50. This is just like Blue Moon Canyon, exactly Jiminy's journal. You've entered the baggage compartment. Yay! But luggage isn't what has the three of you frozen in place, eyes wide. Your grandmother sits on a chair surrounded by suitcases.
I'm in there like swimwear.
Overlord Zaylor, 2 tier 1 subs. You got us to our subscriber goal for the week before the week even started. Thank you so much. We are also now more than halfway to a level 5 hype train. This is incredible. Thank you all so much.
I'm in there like swimwear.
Okay, she's sitting on a chair surrounded by suitcases. She gazes straight ahead, unblinking. A strange orange light beams down onto her. She doesn't move, and although her eyes are open, she doesn't seem to see you. Is she, you know, Ginny stammers. Ginny's like, is your grandma fucking dead? Ginny, a little tact, please. Did they not teach you that in boarding school? I can't tell, you reply. I think she's alive, but I know a way to find out, Chuck says. He jumps up and down, puts his fingers up his nose, and howls in Grandma's ear. No reaction from Grandma. You swallow hard. Wait, she is alive, Ginny murmurs, creeping closer. I can see her breathing. Then why doesn't she say something, you worry aloud. Maybe she's under some kind of spell, Ginny whispers. Maybe it's this weird lie, Chuck suggests. He waves a hand into the orange beam. Pow! Chuck's body flies across the railroad car. He lands in a crumpled heap on top of a suitcase. Chuck's dead! Find out if Chuck is okay on page 77. Chuck! You shriek. You race to his side. He's out cold. He's never going to get those brain cells back. Ginny kneels beside you. What happened to him? She cries. The orange light. It must be a force field of some kind. You answer. That's why Grandma can't move. I'm telling you, this. I don't remember a lot of the specifics about this book, but I remember when we read it. I read this one with Jenny, and when we read it, we were both really impressed by it. Like, this book does, in fact, go hard. Ginny's frightened eyes meet yours. Ooh, Hype Train success level 4. Thank you all so much. Choo-choo. Thank you. This was a very hype train. It took place entirely on a train. Just like a lot of great movies and some bad movies. What are we going to do now? She asks. You wish you knew what to tell her. Whoa, what happened? Chuck murmurs. His eyes blink open. Who hit me? You and Ginny help him to his feet. It wasn't a who, you explain. It was a what? You point to the orange force field. I never knew light could feel so solid. Chuck rubs his face groggily. We better keep out of sight while we decide what to do, you suggest. No telling who'll come in. Chuck and Ginny nod their agreement. The three of you duck behind a set of large trunks. It's a good thing someone brought that elephant, otherwise we'd have nowhere to hide. Just in time, you hear the door slide open. Turn to page 74. That's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. You poke your head up and peer over the trunks. Two thugs in overcoats and sunglasses enter the baggage car. The same guys you saw fighting with your grandma. Yikes, did you say guys? When they remove their dark glasses, you discover they aren't guys at all. Not human guys, anyway. Their eyes, they're the size of ping pong balls and glow a creepy yellow, like lizards. They have no eyelids. Ooh. Chills of terror make your fingers and toes tingle. You slink back down behind the trunks. We are in terrible danger, you whisper to Ginny and Chuck. Chuck gulps. Let's wait until they leave, then grab your grandma and scram, he urges. How are we supposed to grab her through the force field? Ginny demands. It's almost fried you. Then maybe we should overpower those creeps, Chuck suggests. There are 2 of them and 3 of us. Chuck and Ginny can't agree. They want you to decide. Do we attack the yellow-eyed creatures, or do we wait until they leave? This is a tough one, actually. I don't know what to do. I think I'm gonna ask you guys what we should do, because this one I can't decide. Okay, I'm doing another poll. Hold on. I want you guys to help me. It's just going to be a minute, though. What do? Attack or wait? I'm going to give it 1 minute. You have to decide now. Democracy is so important. Get your votes in. Pokemon, go to the polls. They both seem like bad choices that could end in us dead. So I'm giving that decision to you guys. It's pretty neck and neck. If you have a hard opinion about this, get your vote in, because right now it's 12 votes for attack, 10 votes for wait. You feel like you know the series well enough to know which one of these choices will kill us, Jack? I don't know. Do you? Do you really? I will spoil one thing, just from a quick glance. Neither of these are insta-kills, but attack did win. So we are going to attack. Page 57. I mean, there are 3 of us and 2 of them. And their eyes are so weird looking. I've got an idea, you whisper. You outline your plan to Chuck and Ginny. Wait for my signal, you say. They nod. You grab a small box lying beside you and toss it to the other side of the compartment. The creatures' heads whip around, their bodies tense, and they move toward the noise. Now, you shout. You and Chuck jump up and grab the rungs of the overhead luggage rack. With a grunt, you swing up onto the rack. Bags and boxes tip over, landing on top of the thugs. Oh my God, we Nancy Drew'd them! Oh my God!
Am I smart or what?
Chuck clambers up beside you. Together, you bury the creeps with luggage. Ginny pelts them with parcels and bags. We're winning, you cry. Keep throwing. Suitcases burst open as they hit the ground. Clothes fly everywhere. Bottles shatter and tubes ooze, spilling their contents all over the floor. But even in the chaos, your grandma sits staring straight ahead, imprisoned by the orange light. Ah! With a deafening roar, the creatures explode out of the pile of luggage. They head straight for Ginny. Oh no, you shriek. Your eyes dart along the empty luggage racks. We've run out of ammunition. Hurry to page 35. Ginny, you shout. Look out! Ginny scrambles over a pile of smashed suitcases. She trips on a broken crate and sprawls on the floor. Help me, she shrieks. The yellow-eyed thugs stalk closer. Chuck crawls along the luggage rack, hurling down a few remaining boxes. The creatures are inches from Ginny. You have to help her. You swing your legs over the side of the rack and drop to the floor. Leave her alone, you scream. The door behind you flies open. The conductor bursts in. Great, you might have a chance now. Help us, you beg the startled conductor. You've got to help us, please. Your heart stops as his head explodes right in front of you. We killed the conductor, somehow. Ah! You shriek in horror. Chuck falls to the ground, shaking with fear. Ginny sinks into the pile of bags. You can't tear your eyes away from the terrifying sight. Flesh-colored globs splat onto the floor. Pieces of the conductor's face dangle around his neck. But even more revolting is the disgusting new head that rises from his conductor's collar. A hairless, misshapen skull with lidless eyes, yellow eyes, the size of ping-pong balls. Tentacles shoot out from his sleeves. One wraps around your arm, the other grabs Ginny. A third bursts from the center of his chest, right through the conductor's uniform. It yanks Chuck to his feet. All train conductors are like this. Pardon me. The tentacle is working its way up your arm toward your face. You've got to do something, but what? If you haul off and punch the creature with your free hand, turn to page 67. If you bite the tentacles as hard as you can, turn to page 47. I think we should bite. I think we should chomp and use our chompers. I'm going to chomp. I'm bookmarking. We have so many bookmarks already. It would be useless to hit the powerful creature. Your fist is too small. It would feel like a gnat slugging an elephant. But can you do it? Can you actually sink your teeth into that slimy tentacle? You have no choice. It's wrapping around your throat. You shut your eyes and chomp down on the squirming flesh. Not bad. Kind of tastes like chicken. You dig your teeth in deeper. The creature howls and drops Ginny and Chuck. You hang on with your teeth. Flailing tentacles smash into the walls and the ceiling. The 2 other creatures duck out of the way as the tentacles flip around. Crash! A strange-looking piece of equipment falls to the floor. The orange light instantly shuts off. The ex-conductors tend to... Oh, right. It's like... Okay, so sometimes... So the text is justified. So sometimes there's weird spacing between the letters. There's no reason for this. Why did they do this? The ex-conductor's tentacles must have smashed the light that makes the force field, you realize. You glance at Grandma. She blinks 3 times. She looks dazed. The tentacled conductor creature shrieks and writhes, but the 2 other creatures leap toward your grandma. You release your teeth from the tentacle. No, you holler. Turn to page 95. Okay. Grandma, look out! You race toward her, but Grandma doesn't need any help. She leaps to her feet and assumes a karate stance. With a swift kick, she knocks one creature to the ground. It's out cold. The other creature jumps her from behind. Grandma bends sharply at the waist and flips the creature over her back. Whoa! It falls in a crumpled heap. With a howl, the conductor creature reaches for Grandma, but she's ready for it. She ducks, then grabs one of its tentacles. She jerks the creature hard, and it's... what? Sorry? She jerks the creature hard, and it tumbles over. You can't jerk things these days. It's true. In a smooth move, she uses the tentacles to tie all three creatures together. Your mouth drops open in awe. Whoa! You let out a long, low whistle. Like a train would. Some action. That was awesome, Ginny agrees. Totally, adds Chuck. Grandma beams at you. She rubs her hands together. That was fun, she exclaims. You stare at her. Is this amazing woman really your grandma? Turn to page 119 to find out. What a mess. Grandma glances around the wrecked baggage car. Help me find my suitcases, then we can get out of here. You spot a suitcase with your grandmother's name on it. The top is popped open. Papers slide out of it onto the floor. Found one, you call. As you place the papers back into the suitcase, several files catch your eye. Top secret, confidential, special government documents are stamped all over the files. She shouldn't have just, checked this bag. She probably should have kept this bag with her. Grandma darts over and snatches the files out of your hands. Thanks, she says. She shoves the papers into the suitcase and snaps the lid shut. You stare at her. What is your grandmother doing with secret government files? You're about to ask her when the door flies open again. Thank goodness I found you before it's too late, a voice cries. It's the other grandma! Face the twin grandmas on page 55. Stay away from her, the new grandma warns. She's evil. Don't listen to her, the other grandma yells. She's an imposter. Your head spins. Ginny's gaze shoots back and forth between the identical grandmas. Chuck stares with his mouth open so wide you can see the rubber bands on the inside of his braces. Grandma number one, the one who fought the three creatures, leaps into her martial arts stance again. Don't mess with me, she snarls. The new grandma, grandma number two, cowers by the door to the baggage compartment. Oh no, she whimpers. She's gonna get me. She'll get all of us. Shut up, you fake, grandma one snaps. These kids are too smart to fall for your act, right? She gazes straight at you. Which grandma's your grandma? If you think grandma number two is your real grandma, turn to page 23. If you choose grandma number one, turn to page 52. I mean, it would be crazy if we didn't pick train grandma at this point, right? Oh, I see. I was like, there's already a bookmark here. There is already a bookmark here. We're putting a second bookmark in here. There are so many bookmarks. We have really got a good run going. I mean, we died immediately, but for ignoring that. The one that wasn't on the train is Grandma 2. Grandma 1 was on the train, and she is in the karate stance right now. I think we have to trust Grandma number 1. Page 52. Hold on, though. I do want to see if there's an insta-death. Yes, Here, this is what happens if we pick the other grandma. I'm actually going to get rid of this bookmark because we're all too smart for this. So I'm going to let you know what was going to happen if we were not smart, if we were, in fact, a stupid child. You race to grandma number 2 in the doorway. Keep away from us, you shout at the other grandma. Chuck and Ginny rush to your side. You're not my grandma. Anger then worry flashes across grandma number 1's face. Wait, don't. But you all charge out of the baggage car before she can say anything else. You and grandma number 2 get out at the next station. Ginny and Chuck continue on to the hockey game. Wow. Grandma, you wouldn't believe what was going on in that train, you tell her as you wait for the train back home. There were alien creatures with yellow ping pong eyes and you hear a strange gurgling sound behind you. You glance over at Grandma. No, it can't be. Your stomach twists in fear and disgust. Grandma is peeling off her skin. A slimy mass of green pulsing flesh oozes underneath her grandma face. Boy, oh boy, did you pick the wrong grandma. The end. All right. Yeah, Chuck and Ginny just go on to have normal lives. We get killed by an alien grandmother. However, grandma number 1 is clearly our grandmother. We're too smart for that. We wouldn't be tricked. Not us. Not us smart kids. You rush to grandma number 1 and assume a martial arts position just like hers. How could you, Cookie? Grandma number 2 wails. Why would you choose that fiend over me, you sweet old grandma? My parents told me my grandma was unusual, you explain, and full of surprises. That certainly describes me, grandma number 1 boasts. Okay, the other one also is full of surprises too, quite literally, I would say. And I don't think my real grandma would call me that terrible nickname, especially since I'm not a little kid anymore, you finish. Chuck and Ginny slap high fives! Woo!
Scopa!
Yeah, boy! They slap high fives. Way to go, Chuck cheers. Sorry, grandma number 1 tells the other grandma, but don't feel too bad about not being believed. The original is always better than the copy. Huh? What's she talking about? Before you can ask, 3 more women charge through the door. More grandmas? The 3 new grandmas chatter at once. So there you are. Hope number 3 didn't cause trouble. Is everyone all right in here? What's going on? You scream. Silence fills the train car. All of the grandmas stare at you. So do Chuck and Ginny. Excuse me for yelling, you say. But would someone please explain to me what's happening here? Grandma number 1 laughs. I was just getting to that, she tells you. Allow me to introduce my clones. Then she explains the whole unbelievable story. Your grandma is a top government scientist working on a secret cloning project, a project everyone seems to want to get their hands on. That's why she's coming to stay with you, to hide out. You're the luckiest kid in the world. For the next month, you have 5 grandmas. And they all spoil you. The end. We won.
Scopa!
We got the good ending. Orphan grandma, yes. She's not a fed grandma. She's a scientist grandma. It's different. 5, I would say, is too many grandmothers. Let's see what would have happened if we made slightly different choices. What happens if we would have punched the creature instead of bite the creature? What then? So, if we punched instead of bit the creature, right? No way, you're not putting that slimy tentacle in your mouth. Instead, you punch the creature's face with all your strength. Yow, you yelp. That hurt. The creature doesn't even blink. It wraps you, Ginny, and Chuck even tighter in its tentacles. Alien being, one of the other yellow-eyed creatures addresses you. We have come to destroy your evil grandmother's eggs. We have tracked her through the galaxy for 30 years, hoping she would lead us to her nest. Ginny gasps. Through the galaxy, she echoes. They're saying that they're aliens. Yeah, man. The eyeballs, the tentacles. Your head spins. That's not all. They're saying something even more unbelievable. What? You sputter? Are you saying my grandmother is an alien? Yeah. If we punch the alien instead of biting it, that makes our grandmother be an alien. And if we bite it, then our grandmother's just a mad scientist. Egg is egg. You can donate now to the Gag Fund for more fun read-alongs like this. You can't believe what this creature is saying. Your grandmother, an alien? No way. The creature that used to be the conductor squeezes you tighter in its tentacles. Pieces of its human disguise drip down its uniform. Now that we have the child, perhaps Mithradithra will be more cooperative. It says, who's Mithradithra, you ask? One of the thugs makes a sound you assume is an alien laugh. Your grandmother has taught you well. Yes, the other thug agrees, but we won't be fooled, and your grandmother, Mithradithra, will not succeed in her evil plan to rule this solar system. So, to be clear, these are aliens, but they are aliens from our solar system.
Congratulations on your good deed,
Overlord Zaylor,
Putt-Putt.
you just tipped $10 for belated birthday/pride/Saturday. Thank you so much. It's no longer a funny number in the gag fund, but I do appreciate it all the same. I don't know what you're talking about, you yell. My grandmother's first name is Susan, not Mithradithra. So they're just like cops. This has nothing to do with them. They're like, she shouldn't get to rule the solar system, though. You've made a mistake, Ginny protests. Just because the old lady dress is funny, it doesn't mean she's an alien. The three creatures fix their yellow eyes on you. They make that weird laughing noise again. You will answer our questions soon enough. Now we must prepare. Prepare for what? Find out what they plan to do with you on page 83. The conductor creature snaps open a wall panel, revealing dials, knobs, and switches. Your grandma is still frozen in the force field. The conductor turns a dial. The train car suddenly hums with a pulsing electronic sound. With a rumbling whoosh, the baggage car releases from the train. We just stole everyone's luggage. It shoots in the opposite direction down the track. What's going on? Chuck yells over the noise. Before you can answer, the car lurches. You're thrown to the floor. In an instant, the baggage car lifts off the ground and hurtles into the sky. We're in some kind of spaceship, you cry. Now that you realize there is no escape, the ex-conductor suggests, perhaps you will be more cooperative. Tell us. The smaller alien approaches you slowly. Where do you live? Where did your grandmother bury the eggs? I don't know what you're talking about, you protest. You'll change your story, the other creature warns. We'll get the answer we want. Then it does something so disgusting, you nearly faint. On the previous page, we don't have to wait that long. The alien bends over, opens its mouth, and vomits out a slimy, snarling, dog-like monster. Meet Fido, the yellow-eyed creature says with a laugh. They have been on Earth too long, I would say. Fido snarls. It has 3 rows of razor-sharp teeth. Yeah, they barfed up a scary dog monster. Its fangs drip with slime. I can't tell you anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Jack, I can't stress this enough. He's an ex-conductor because he stopped conducting the train. Not because he's an alien. Like, no one's driving the train now. All those people are doomed. I can't tell you anything. I don't know what you're talking about, you gasp. Perhaps your friends will be more cooperative. The 2 other aliens each vomit out a drooling dog. Fido lunges at you. The other monster dogs leap at Chuck and Ginny. It's hurting me, Chuck screams. Tell them! You desperately push the monster dog away. You're almost too terrified to think. Should you just tell them your address? You know your grandmother isn't this evil Mithradithra. What difference would it make? But once you give the creature what they want, won't they just go ahead and kill you? They won't need you anymore. Decide quick. Fido's drool burns your skin like acid. Ow! Tell them where we live or bluff. I think we should keep lying. Lying worked for us last time. It got our friends involved. These creeps think you're related to a powerful alien. Maybe if you act powerful too, they'll be afraid of you. Call off your dogs, you command. You try to sound like alien royalty, or I'll unleash my own forces. The creatures glance at each other. One of them makes a shrill beeping sound. The vomit dogs freeze in mid-bite. This might work. Now that you have seen through my human disguise, you continue, there's no point in pretending. I am Smithra Schmithra, heir to the Mithridithra kingdom. Fandom? The heir to the Mithridithra fandom. We're very involved. Smithra Schmithra does sound like a joke they would make on The Nanny, so I feel good about making the grandmother sound like the mom from The Nanny. Heir to the Mithridithra kingdom. Ginny and Chuck stare at you. This is fun. So stay back, you bellow, or you'll feel my wrath. You point at the three creatures. Sparks shoot out of your fingers. How did you do that? The sparks from your fingers short-circuit the orange force field around your grandmother. Grandma shakes her head a few times. Then she smiles at you. Cookie, she exclaims. Good. I see you have everything under control. I knew I could count on you. You wave your hand at the cowering yellow-eyed creatures again. Sparks fly at them. What's going on? You stammer. Grandma beams. Oh, she coos, my little baby's growing up. You've reached the age when you can use your powers. Powers? So it's all true? You're an alien after all? Your grandma is Mithridithra. Together, you take over the world. You put Ginny and Chuck in charge of their very own solar systems, and you make the yellow-eyed thugs your galactic chauffeurs. The end! Rock and roll, baby! This is the good ending. You know, I thought it was nice having 5 grandmas, but it turns out that banishing our friends to other solar systems is very good too. Let's see. What happens if we tell them the truth? I'm going to find that one. What happens if we tell the aliens our address? Ginny and Chuck screams, rip through you worse than the monster dog's acid drool. We're an empath. Okay, you shriek. Call off the dogs. You rattle off your address. Very good. I forgot the voice that I gave the aliens. I thought it was just me. The 3 alien creatures lean over and open their jaws wide. The monster dogs jump back into their mouths. The creatures swallow. Then all 3 belch and pat their tummies. Goose would do that if he could do that. He would jump into my stomach and he would sit there. He would not get off of me today. I swear to God. I'm sorry we started late. He wouldn't get off of me. It was crazy. Hold on. Let me... 1 second. No, Goose, come back. I almost had him. He wouldn't leave me alone and made me late for stream before. And then when I'm like, be on stream with me. No, Slappy, no. Slappy, put your legs together. I taught you better than that. It's only polite and you'll fall over if you don't. Now he's resting. He looks dead. Slappy, please. How did I get him to stay before? There, that's fine. Hi, baby. He appeared from under the bed to get a little bit of a head scratch and then went back under the bed. Baby. He's slow blinking at me. He's back on the bed. He was like, that was a warning shot. I'm not going to fall for that one. I think he wants to be here. And I think he's playing a little game. I turned around and I just did this and he immediately was off the bed like a shot. Okay, fine. I get it. My God, no cat today. Okay. We told the aliens where we live. We are terribly sorry, the ex-conductor says, but we really did need to know, and now we will take you home. With the twist of a few dials, the spaceship changes direction. In minutes, you land behind your house. You glance out the window and gasp. What has you so upset? Oh no, you wail. You landed on my mom's petunias. They're totally ruined. My mom's gonna go ballistic. But it gets worse. As soon as the spaceship hatch pops open, the creatures go to work. They dig up her prize rose bushes. Okay, apparently it's going to keep telling me when I get YouTube subscribers, even though I'm not actually streaming to YouTube because I couldn't figure out how to set that up. So just shout out YouTube. This video is going on there later. I am going to figure out how to live stream to YouTube one day, but because I'm a woman in STEM. Hello, YouTube. They dig up her prize rose bushes. You're going to be in big trouble when your mom comes home. You don't believe what you see next. You're soon ankle deep in hundreds of enormous, pulsing purple eggs. Your grandma must be an alien after all? When the creatures have filled their ship with the eggs, the ex-conductor approaches you. Now you understand why we must keep your grandmother, but we apologize for the mess, it says. Here are some seeds to replace the plants we destroyed. Thanks. It's in a packet. You take the packet from the wiggling tentacle. Thank you. I guess I can't decide if that's more or less weird than just loose seeds. With a wave, the creature enters the spaceship. Okay, he was actually very polite, and he did feel bad about the flowers. I just consider it. You watch it leave the atmosphere. Chuck and Ginny help you with the garden. Alien flowers grow differently from Earth plants, you realize. Within minutes, the garden is overflowing with gigantic roses. Your mom should be pleased, as long as she doesn't mind roses that smell like bananas and glow in the dark. The end. So, it's not a bad ending, but aliens have stolen our grandmother forever, and we have weird alien plants in our garden now. I would call that a neutral ending. Plus, Chuck and Ginny missed the hockey game, so it's a bad ending for them. Hello, Goose Boy. He's just flopping around. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do now. I am going to go downstairs and get myself another beverage. Hold on. One sec. Goose. What were you doing back there? Okay, sorry. He decided to go behind the computer, and I had to be like, don't do that. But he almost knocked my PlayStation off of its stand, which is unfortunate because that's the machine I used to play Fortnite. Okay, so I'm gonna go downstairs. I am going to get myself another soda because I need one for my voice. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Stay right put where you are. If you leave, I'll know. Give me 2 seconds. BRB. Hello, I'm back. I have a Diet Coke now. I also don't need these in because I just remembered. All right. Very exciting. Secret Agent Grandma. What a book. Let's keep going. I'm not going to lie to you, ate like a handful of chips and a slice of cheddar cheese because I was hungry. Goose ate some lunch too. He's just staring at me and licking his chops. What are you doing? He's just so cute is the thing about Goose. I just want him to come here so I can give him the love he deserves and craves. But he doesn't wish to be a star today. Noodle already did it, and he doesn't want to be the second one to do something. He's Goose. Okay, the Diet Coke is going to fix everything. All right. Let me find another one of the choices from the branch we were on. Okay. Before I move to that other branch, find out what's going on there. Okay, that one. Let me see. Oh, if we wait until the creatures leave instead of just attacking them. Let's see what happens with that. Page 87. Those guys aren't human, you tell Ginny and Chuck. You shudder. I don't want to try to take them on ourselves. You, Chuck, and Ginny scrunch down as low as you can behind the trunks. You try to not even breathe. Yet having a full conversation was fine, but let's hold our breath. God forbid they overhear us. Then you hear the door slide open again. Have they left, you wonder, or did someone else come in? Only one way to find out. You crawl between packing crates and boxes, searching for signs of the creatures. As you slide along the floor, something hooks around your ankle. Crash! A large rectangular mirror wrapped in plastic. How did thuds to the floor right behind you? How did that hook around your ankle? I'm drinking. Wrapped in plastic. How? Explain how, RL. Please, please, please explain how. Oh no, did those yellow-eyed creatures hear you? Are you about to be zapped? You wait. Nothing happens. Phew! You let out your breath. The creatures must have left. You're safe. But 7 years bad luck. Are you okay? Chuck asks, rushing over. You sit up and untangle the packing twine that wraps around your ankle. We better move fast, Ginny warns. That crash was really loud. Someone might come to see what it was. Yeah, Chuck agrees. He helps you lift the mirror back upright. Luckily, it didn't break. Oh, okay. So how are we going to... it's that plastic, you know? So how are we going to break through the orange force field and grab your grandma? You scratch your head. You murmur. Then the mirror gives you an idea. How will the mirror help you? Find out on page 71. Help me with this thing, you instruct Chuck and Ginny. Together, the three of you unwrap the large mirror. Then you carry it over to your frozen grandma. If we find the right angle, you explain, we should be able to deflect the beams of the force field. What are you doing in here? A voice demands behind you. Your head whips around. They're back! The thugs! In sunglasses! Damn it! I thought we could fight them, but now we just have a big mirror. Quick! You shriek. Lift! You, Chuck, and Ginny hoist the heavy mirror over your heads. It pierces the orange beam. The rays bend and bounce off the mirror, straight at the two thugs. The two creatures stand frozen in place. Yeah, we split one laser beam into two with a mirror. That's amazing. That's science.
Am I smart or what?
It's working, you cry. Grab Grandma. You lean the mirror against a luggage rack, aiming the beam directly at the creatures. Chuck and Ginny lift Grandma out of the chair. She's still out cold, but at least you've rescued her from the force field. Out the back, you shout, hurry! The back of the train? Chuck and Ginny drag Grandma out the back door. You follow right behind them. Oops, you forgot you were in the last car. So, genius, Ginny says as she strains to hold up Grandma. Now what? You glance around, hoping for an idea. Your eyes land on a ladder leading to the top of the train. Up there! You grab a rung and climb. At the top, you reach down and help lug up Grandma. Your muscles strain with the effort. Chuck and Ginny shove her from below as you yank her limp arms. Also, in the other paths, she just bounces back no problem, but in this one, she needs to get dragged up the side of a train. Finally, you're all gasping on top of the train. We don't know how long that force field will hold, you warn. We better keep moving. The three of you drag Grandma across the car tops. It's tough going. You're not sure if this was such a good idea. I'll see if anyone is looking for us. You scurry to the side of the train. Grab my ankles. Ginny and Chuck grab your ankles and lower you down head first. You peer into the train car window and gasp. The train car is filled with people in sunglasses. One of them notices you. He points and moves closer to the window. He pulls off his glasses to take a better look. Yellow ping pong ball eyes. Panic all the way to 111. Oh no! Pull me up! Pull me up! You shriek. Ginny and Chuck lift you back to the top of the train. They saw me. They know we're up here, you yelled. They'll be back after. Sorry, I'm panicked. They'll be after us any second. Ginny and Chuck stare at each other. Their faces are white with fear. They were all going to go to the hockey game. This is the same train going to the hockey game. You're going to have a hard time escaping with your grandmother like that. Sorry, I forgot who was talking. Sorry. You're gonna have a hard time escaping with your grandmother like that. Chuck points to Grandma. She looks like a limp rag doll. We can't waste any time, you urge. You peek over the side of the train again and stare into a pair of yellow eyes gazing up at you. One of the creatures is leaning out the window. You can't do that on a train, RL. RL, you can't do that on a train. The windows don't open that wide on a train. Do you know how fast train go, RL? RL has never seen a train before in his life. Do something fast. If you leap from the train before it's too late, turn to page 10. If you wake Grandma so you can try to crawl away, turn to page 28. Fuck it, we're jumping off the train! You don't have a moment to lose. The train car below you is filled with those creatures, and they've found you. They'll be climbing up after you any minute now. Geronimo! You shout to Chuck and Ginny. Then you leap off the train. Oops, bad timing. The train's going over a bridge. A very high bridge. It's a long way down. So long, in fact, that you have time to read the big banner hanging on the side of the train car. Evanstown High School Annual Costume Party. Wow. Too bad you didn't notice it sooner. Say goodbye, party animal. The end. This ending sucks for so many reasons. We kill ourselves. 1. 2. For nothing. RL wants us to know that not only did we die, it wasn't even worth it. Why did they kidnap our grandma? Those evil high schoolers, they were also aliens. That was unrelated. Okay, so let's wake Grandma so we can try and crawl away. I guess the general piece of advice RL is trying to give kids here is, even though he doesn't know anything about trains, you still shouldn't jump off of them. Not good. Goose, what do you think? He's asleep. I think I can sneak up on him. Hold on, everybody. Nobody wake Goose. Grandma's a secret agent, but so am I. Damn it. I had to move my chair so as to not knock Slappy over. Oh my god. Hold on. Goose, please. It's just a fun game we play now. He pretends to be asleep, and then he runs away. Okay. Back to Grandma. We've got to wake Grandma, you tell the others. We won't be able to escape any other way. We are, in fact, going over a very high bridge. You, Ginny, and Chuck rush over to Grandma. You rub her hands and pat her face lightly. Finally, she comes around. My, she murmurs. What am I doing up here? You describe everything that has happened. She clucks and shakes her head. I was afraid they might be on to me. Then Grandma tells you an amazing story. She's a secret agent, specializing in alien investigations. I've been tracking the evil Mithra, she explains. Obviously, she assumed my identity. That's why you saw two of us at the train station, and why those creatures captured me. Your head swims. This is unbelievable. But you know your grandma is telling you the truth. Grandma smiles at you. You three did very well, she says. I have an assignment for you, if you dare. Do you accept the assignment, or have you had enough of danger? I think we have to accept the assignment. But what if we say no thank you? If we say no thank you, the book says, are you kidding? You're turning down the chance to have a close encounter of the alien kind? You'd rather go home than spy on creatures from outer space? Boy, you sure aren't the kind of kid who usually reads Give Yourself Goosebumps. Fuck. Maybe you should go get your baby brother's nursery rhymes. Pick this book up again when you stop being such a wimp. The end. Get their ass. Okay, so we accept the assignment. Sorry, RL. Fuck. I was just checking. I like that the book was literally like, you're not cool like the other kids who read these books. What's wrong with you? Noodle, what are you doing? I'm hearing a lot of mysterious noises from underneath the bed, like a cat is fucking with something, but I don't know what. And it is Noodle, because I can see Goose. He's asleep on my backpack, and he's being very cute. Hi, Goose. Okay. So we're going to become an official investigator of aliens with our grandma. We're going to take down the evil Mithra, who is not our grandma. Become an official investigator of aliens? You bet, you exclaim. Ginny and Chuck nod enthusiastically, as long as they can make it to the hockey game on time. Great. Grandma beams at you. I'm going to go after Mithra, but I need you to stay on this train. You try to hide your disappointment. Can't we go with you to defeat the evil alien, you ask? Grandma shakes her head. I need you to track another set of aliens. You see, I discovered why there are so many aliens on this train. They're all heading for a big meeting a few miles up at the hockey game. Chuck lets out a low whistle. Like some kind of alien convention, he asks. In a way, Grandma smiles. They meet every few years on a centrally located planet. This year, they're coming to Earth. Ginny shudders. To do what? Grandma leans forward. That's what I need you three to figure out. This seems like a crazy assignment to give us, even if we are game for it. You, Ginny, and Chuck arrive at the alien meeting. Grandma has given each of you a disguise. You think your two blue heads look really cool. But unfortunately, this assignment turns out to be kind of boring. It really is a convention. The aliens get together to vote on galaxy parking rules, real estate taxes, and planetary trade pacts. It's so dull, both of your blue heads fall asleep. The 5-armed orange security guard has to throw you out. Your snoring is disturbing the guest speaker. Oh well, sometimes even aliens turned out to be dull in the end. I thought someone texted me, but it was just President Biden. Okay. Not a great ending, but fairly neutral, and we did get confirmation of alien life. But Chuck and Ginny missed the hockey game. I can't believe they bullied us into reading the book, and that was the ending we got if we went for it. Okay. We could try telling someone what we saw instead of just following. We could try explaining to the conductor the real reason we're on the train. Let's do that. I'm trying to go from like most recent decisions we made moving backward, you know? So the train conductor finds us on the train. He asks for our ticket. At this point, last time, if you'll recall, we stalled, and that's when Chuck and Ginny showed up. In this instance, we are going to try telling the truth to the train conductor. I'm not really a passenger on the train, you tell the conductor. Could have fooled me, the conductor responds. I mean, that is, you're having trouble explaining. Yes, this I have to hear. The conductor crosses his arms and peers down at you. I saw this fight. A woman struggling with two guys in sunglasses. I think the woman was my grandma. Your grandma in a brawl? The conductor snorts in disbelief. It's true, you cry. It's no use. He grabs your sleeve and yanks you to the door. That's the worst excuse for not paying a fare that I've ever heard, he declares. He lifts you up under the armpits and lowers you to the platform. Luckily, the train hasn't picked up much speed yet. He literally throws us off the train. You only stumble a few steps. Cookie! Your furious grandmother marches toward you. What has gotten into you? Jumping on and off moving trains. That's it. You're grounded. Some way to start a vacation. Grounded. You can't wait until your grandmother's visit comes to an end. So, the RL said, and I quote, always lie to cops. And everyone knows that the conductor is the train cop. All right. The last one on this path before we get to the are we too stupid to figure out help me or not. If you think you should tell someone what you saw, turn to page 70, rather than what we did, which is not tell anyone and just go to grandma. We still haven't met up with Chuck and Ginny at this point, for the record. We're telling someone what we saw. Those thugs looked dangerous, you decide. You need help. You glance around the train car. 3 kids reading comic books. A fat man sleeping. A teenage girl doing homework. Not much to choose from. You approach the teenage girl. You're like, I know who can help me in a fight. Excuse me, you whisper. I need your help. The girl doesn't look up. I'm busy, she snaps. You try again. I saw a fight and look, she sighs. I have an A average. I'm not going to blow it by messing up on this exam. Go away. Well, that was useless. Did you say you saw a fight? You turn at the sound of the deep voice. Looming over you is a man in an overcoat and sunglasses. Fight? You babble. Oh, yeah, last night. A boxing match on TV. You can't see the man's eyes behind the sunglasses. You're not sure if he believes you. But he nods and walks away. You head toward the end of the car, searching for someone to help you. As you pass the bathroom, the door pops open. An arm reaches out and yanks you inside. You're shocked when you discover who dragged you into the tiny bathroom. Grandma! You exclaim. She claps her hand over your mouth. Shh! She hisses. You struggle to breathe. She's incredibly strong. I'm going to take my hand away, she tells you. Do you promise to be quiet? Your lungs feel as if they're about to explode. You nod. Good. Grandma releases you. Sorry about that, but we can't risk being found. Who are those guys, you demand? Why are they after you? Grandma sighs. I guess you need to know. You're in up to your neck right along with me. Yikes. Listen to Grandma on page 91. Grandma gazes solemnly at you. I'm a secret agent, she informs you. Your mouth drops open. You, what? You sputter. It's true. Those men who grabbed me think I'm smuggling a special computer disc. Computer disc. There's no way to say computer disc like the mom from The Nanny. Computer disc. Okay, yes, there is. Are you? You blurt. She smiles. It's better if you don't know for sure. You have a zillion questions you want to ask her, but a sharp knock on the bathroom door startles you. Grandma pulls a small, high-tech device from her pocket. What do you think we should do? She whispers. Should we take our chances and open the door? Should we sneak out through the window? It's up to me? What? RL, it should not be up to me. My sister just texted me. Everyone say hi to Faith. Okay. So do we climb out the bathroom window or do we yank open the door? I say we fight them. Head on. We got our grandma by our side and she is very strong. Let's see who's on the other side of the door, you tell Grandma. She nods. On my signal. Good night, War. Thanks for hanging out and thanks for resubscribing. Grandma aims the device at the center of the door. You reach for the handle. She nods again. You take a deep breath and yank open the door. Ah! A boy shrieks, bursting into the bathroom. Wham! The door smashes into your knee. The pain makes you weak. The boy knocks into Grandma. The device flies from her hand straight into the toilet. She falls against the wall. Get out! Get out! Get out! The boy hollers. You and Grandma are no match for him. When you gotta go, you gotta go. The end. Our story is just over because a boy has to piss so bad. Yeah, that just made the story end. The secret tech got flushed. We got nothing left. Okay, fine. We're gonna climb out the bathroom window with Grandma. Out the window, you declare, or we'll be trapped in here. Good choice, Grandma says. God knows what would have happened if we opened the door. Editorializing. There's no mention of God in these books, for the record. She slips the device back into her pocket. You peer out the window. The countryside speeds by. There's nowhere to go out that window, you realize. Nowhere but down. The pounding on the door increases. It strains on its hinges. No more time to waste. Remember, duck and roll, Grandma instructs you. She gives you a boost up. Then you fling yourself out the window. Wham! Your landing knocks the wind out of you. You roll several yards. You can feel every rock through your clothes. As you struggle to get up, you notice Grandma is already on her feet. She's speaking into her watch. You dash over. She smiles. We'll be out of here in no time, she tells you. Within minutes, a helicopter is hovering over you. Your hair whips in the wind created by the rotating blades. A rope ladder is tossed down. Grandma grabs a rung and scrambles up. You follow a few feet behind her. As Grandma nears the helicopter door, she stops. Uh-oh, she mutters. You don't like the sound of that. Jump, Grandma whispers down to you. These aren't the good guys. The helicopter's already lifting away. You glance at the ground below you. Yikes. Grab the disc out of my sock. Grandma continues. Don't let them see you do it. Take it straight to the address on the label. You'll be safe there. She has the special disc on her after all. Cool. You slip the disc out of her sock. Grandma climbs up as if nothing is wrong. You take a deep breath and let go of the ladder. After jumping from a moving train, this doesn't seem so bad. You land and take off running. All this fuss over some stupid computer floppy. She had a whole floppy disk in her sock? How big is her sock? This isn't a fucking thumb drive. This is a disk. It's got at most, I can't even think of what 5 megabytes on it? You dart into some bushes and examine the disc. The address on the label isn't too far from your house. You head off in the right direction. A whole megabyte. Yes, exactly. You sneak back toward home. You try to stay out of sight. By the time you pass your house, you're pretty sure you're safe. You check the address on the computer disk again. You wonder what's on the disk. What makes it so valuable? You can't resist. You dash into your house. In your room, you switch on your computer and slip the floppy into the drive. Your eyes widen. Awesome! Totally, completely, amazingly awesome! You can't take your eyes off the screen. All the next year's computer games are on this disc. That's crazy. That doesn't seem possible. You scroll through the files. Every major company. Name even one, RL. I dare you. They've got Doom on there. Doom's only a megabyte. You can play them all before anyone else. You click open a file. Whoa, neat. Nuclear Ninja added sound effects. Jesus, the 90s were bleak. You open another. Destroyer added 4 new levels. This is fantastic. You could sit here for hours. Bang, crash, wham. This book came out last year. You're so startled you fall off your desk chair. When you glance up, you discover a thug in an overcoat and sunglasses standing in your doorway. Your broken down doorway. And there's another leaning in your window. Your smashed window. Uh-oh, guess what? It's game over for you. The end. Yes, Jack, it's DLC. This book did not come out this year. This book came out, let's see, April 1997. This is what Nintendo does to people who leak games, though. That is true. But the gamers got them. That's the entire path. If we go with the train, Grandma. That's everything we could do on the train. I'm going to say, instead of the just deciding to go with Grandma, I'm going to say, I need help figuring out what EMPLA means. What then? Do you know what EMPLA means? You ask Grandma. So we're not on the train anymore. We're at the train station. Just for everyone keeping track here. We've basically finished the first half of the book. EMPLA, she repeats. No, I've never heard that word before. What do you ask? I saw it written on that train window. You turn and point back to the train car. I think it's some kind of message. Grandma grabs your hand and links her arm through yours. My, she coos. You have such an imagination. Is Grandma walking faster? Or is that your imagination too? It's wonderful to see you after so long, she gushes, hurrying down the platform. I can't wait to see your mother's lovely rose garden. Yeah, right, you murmur. You're still trying to figure out what EMPLA means. You snap your fingers. I know what it means, you cry. Turn to page 31. EMPLA, you tell Grandma excitedly. It's help me, spelled backwards. Arl can't resist. He had to tell us the answer to his riddle. Grandma stares at you. Grandma, you tug at her sleeve. We have to go back. Someone on the train needs our help. Oh, Cookie, she sighs. I didn't want to have to do this so soon, but you give me no choice. I can't allow you to interfere with my mission. Grandma pulls a small laser device from her pocket. She points it at you. Zap! Take me to your mother's rose garden, she orders. You can't resist. You lurch forward and climb into a cab like a zombie. As soon as you arrive at your house, Grandma races to the rose garden. My eggs, she cries. My babies are ready to hatch. You stand by watching helplessly as Grandma digs up hundreds of alien eggs. Alien babies burst from the purple shells. They crawl everywhere, oozing yellow slime. Grandma dances around crazily. My plans to take over the universe will now come true, Grandma cries. My babies will be my army. No one will be able to stop us. One little alien baby slithers over to you. It slides across your foot. It glances up and all 5 of its eyes gaze up at you. It squeaks. Hey, it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. You pick it up. It makes a sound like a cat purring. Oh, well, if aliens are going to rule Earth, it would probably be a good idea to have at least one alien on your side. Maybe then you won't come to such a terrifying end. Yeah, he fucking punishes you for being too stupid to figure out his puzzle. That's crazy, RL. Okay, now we're truly doing the other half of the book. That was it. So, I think we found the right grandma. I'm not going to leap aboard that train. Not one little bit. Page 26, we found the right grandma. It's so nice to see my cookie. Your grandmother gazes down at you. Her eyes sparkle. 2 dimples crinkle her cheeks as she smiles. You grin up at her. You must have imagined seeing that other woman. How could you have 2 grandmas? That's a dumb idea. Hey, RL, I don't know how to tell you this. No, it isn't. Classically, people do tend to have 2 grandmas, I would say. So we're going to get our grandma into a cab, page 44. Let me help you with those. You reach for one of Grandma's 2 large suitcases. Grandma shakes her head. No, I'm perfectly balanced. If you take one, I'll probably topple over. She giggles. Now that would be a sight. You lead her out of the railroad station into a taxi. Grandma shoves her suitcases into the trunk and then climbs into the cab beside you. Give the driver your address, she instructs, and then tell me all about yourself. You do as she says, but as you launch into a long story about your brilliant performance at school yesterday, she interrupts you. Tell me about the rose garden, Grandma demands. Try not to be annoyed. Turn to page 18. You sigh. The roses are great, you answer politely. Mom says they're unusually large this year. Grandma leans back in the car seat. That is excellent. Why do you want to know about our garden, you ask? She pats your head. I lived in the house before your mother and father did, and I planted the eggs in the garden. Eggs, you repeat. How could you plant eggs? Grandma looks startled. I meant seeds. I planted the seeds for the rose bushes. Those roses have been there as long as I can remember, you remark. You must have planted them a long time ago. 15 years ago, Grandma tells you. That is a long time. That's longer than we've been alive. We're 10. They're the only roses planted by the light of shooting stars. She chuckles. Meteors, really. So many meteors fell, night turned to day. The taxi pulls into your driveway. I must see the roses right away. Grandma leaps out of the cab and disappears around the back of the house. You stare after her. Was she always this weird? The driver pops open the trunk to get Grandma's bags. He reaches in and tugs and yanks and grunts and pulls. Give the guy a hand on page 101. What's the problem, you ask the struggling cab driver. Skipped breakfast this morning? Stop bullying this man. He works hard. He doesn't know what's about to happen to his industry because of Uber. You leave him alone. The cab driver glares at you. Sweat trickles down his forehead. You try to lift those bags, he grunts. You reach in and grab the handle of the top suitcase. Whoa, that bag is heavy. You grit your teeth and yank hard. Every muscle strains as you lift the bag out of the trunk. I don't get it, you murmur. Grandma carried both of those bags without any trouble. Then Grandma must be a weightlifter, the cab driver snaps. Together you half drag, half carry the luggage to the front door. You drop yours with a loud thud. That must weigh 200 pounds, you gasp. The cab driver glances around. Let's open them, he whispers. This guy rocks. I want to know what Grandma has that weighs so much. You know it would be snooping, but you're dying of curiosity. What are you going to do? I think we got to open the bags. I think we got to do what this funny cab driver wants and open the bags. 85. How will we be punished for this? You have to find out what makes the suitcases weigh so much. Then you have to find out how Grandma carried them so easily. Okay, you whisper to the cab driver, but hurry. You glance around. No Grandma. Great. You figure she's still checking out her precious rose bushes. The cab driver fiddles with the lock on the luggage. He murmurs, I've never seen a lock like this before. You bend down beside him. You examine the small lock on the suitcase. It glows blue and feels warm in your hand. It's not a combination lock, and it doesn't seem to have a slot for a key. It is weird, you agree. Now I really want to get these bags open. The cab driver laughs. I can't resist a challenge. You peer closely at the lock. You notice a small rose etched into the metal. I wonder if... You press hard on the rose. The lock snaps open. It was just a latch. Guys, it was just a latch. Find out what's inside the suitcase on page 105. The moment the lock pops open, the suitcase begins to vibrate. You stumble backward, banging into the startled cab driver. He trips, and the two of you tumble off the front step. You land hard on the lawn. The suitcase spins around and around. As it bounces wildly, the sides slowly open. Purple mist escapes from the bag with a hissing sound. What's going on? The cab driver stammers, but you can't answer him. You're too stunned by what you're seeing. With a whoosh, a giant rose bush bursts from Grandma's suitcase. Exactly. This is why you don't go through someone's luggage. You have to respect people's privacy. You shouldn't just open your grandma's bags because a nameless cab driver tells you to. I'm not saying he's nameless. In the fiction of the book, he's nameless. Cab drivers usually have names. This one doesn't. Anyway, big ass rose bush. You scramble to your feet. The terrified cab driver still sprawled on the ground directly below the huge rose bush. Grandma races around the corner of the house. Oh, she calls. I see you found my prize plant. You stare up at the dozens of giant flowers towering over you. Each bud is twice the size of your head. What? How? Grandma smiles, a strange, evil smile. How did it get so big? She finishes for you. My rose has a very special diet, and I think it's time for lunch. Find out what's on the menu, page 117. I bet I could guess. We're being punished. He's dragging it out. It was such a bad idea to open the suitcase with the cab driver. Yes, Grandma croons. I think my baby's hungry. You gaze up at the huge rose bush. Could it be? Is it moving? Your heart pounds triple time. One of the enormous roses bends down toward the cab driver. In a flash, it gobbles him up. You shut your eyes, but you can still hear the cab driver's muffled screams. Then, silence. Ugh, it's just like Nope. Trembling, you open your eyes. Oh no, the gigantic flower is inches from your head. Good baby, Grandma coos. You ate every bite of dinner. Now you get to have a nice treat for dessert. He did open her bag without permission, that's true. Eek! You have a terrible feeling you know what dessert is going to be. Well, what did you expect with a nickname like Cookie? The end. Okay, so let's tell the cab driver no way on page 7 instead. Here's the other thing. Here's the thing. As you flip through these pages, you sometimes see things like words and stuff where you're like, I wonder what that has to do with. I have seen 2 names that have not come up yet. And I'm like, I gotta know what those names are about. That's how I know there's a lot down this path. We have to tell the cab driver to scram. Forget it, you scold the cab driver. That's snooping. And snooping is bad. No, not nicknames. Real people names that we haven't encountered yet. There's a girl named Sophie. That's not a nickname. That's just a character we haven't met. That's somewhere down this path. The front door pops open. What's taking you so long? Grandma demands. She strides to the cab, grasps the suitcase handles, and lifts both bags. I need to start working out, the cab driver mutters. Come on, Cookie, Grandma beams at you. Show me my room. It's at the top of the stairs, you tell her. You follow her into the house. Perfect, she croons, entering the guest room. Right over the rose garden. I'll watch my babies growing out of the ground. Did you hear right? Your babies, you repeat? Grandma spins around and stares at you. Then she smiles. I think of the rose bushes as my babies, she explains. Grandma isn't just unusual, you think. She's plain weird. You peer down. You've never paid much attention to the garden before. It takes up most of the backyard. Dozens of flowers sprout from each bush. Okay, so this year they're wacky colors, and they are much larger than usual. But basically, what's the big deal? Grandma suddenly stiffens beside you. Find out what's wrong on page 30. There are two strangers at the back door. Hey, these are the names I keep seeing. Perfect. There are two strangers at the back door, Grandma says. Get rid of them. We don't need nosy neighbors poking around. You glance out the window and smile. Oh, those are just my friends, Sophie and Andrew, you assure her. This kid has at least 4 friends. That's amazing for a Goosebumps book. Hey, guys, you call. Sophie and Andrew look up. Sophie is the toughest kid you know. She's not afraid of anything. Bugs, snakes, rats, nothing scares her. You never, ever dare her to do anything because she'll do it and then double dare you. Andrew's stringy brown hair sticks out in weird clumps. Andrew sucks. Like, I love Sophie. Andrew hangs out with us. Whenever Andrew thinks hard about something, he rubs his head, so his hair is always a mess because he never stops thinking. Friends of yours, Grandma murmurs. I must meet them. Okay, you lean back out the window. Yo, guys, you yell. You're about to tell them to come upstairs when Grandma grasps your arm. Not now, she orders. I need to freshen up after my travels. Unpack. Maybe take a nap. You rub your arm where she grabbed you. She's one tough grandma. Run along now, Grandma tells you. You bound out of her room, downstairs, and out the back door. You hate to admit it, but your own grandmother gives you the creeps. You can't shake the feeling that something is very wrong. Sophie and Andrew are sprawled on your back porch. Hey, guys, you greet them. What's up? We're hungry, Sophie announces. She's the southern one. We need brownies. Andrew nods. Or we'll collapse before the big event. The big event. What big event? You ask, leading them into the kitchen. You set a plate of Mom's fresh brownies on the table. Sophie and Andrew are too busy munching to answer. Finally, Sophie swallows. Milk, she croaks. Give me milk. You grab the milk carton. You hold it over Sophie's head. Tell me what the big event is, you insist, or I'll give you a milk shampoo. Andrew snorts. How about a Milky Way shampoo? He holds up a newspaper. Check this out. Check this shit out. You grab the newspaper and scan the article. Meteor shower tonight, you read aloud. Cool. You peer at the tiny map. Then your eyes widen. Hey, that's my house, you sputter. 15 years ago, a meteor crashed here. Right in our rose garden? Turn to page 65 to find out what that's about. Grandma said she planted the roses during a meteor shower, but she never mentioned that a meteor landed in the garden. Didn't she notice? Let's look for pieces of the meteor, Sophie suggests. I don't think we'll be able to recognize meteor fragments, you caution her. They'll just look like regular rocks. We should search anyway, Sophie insists. You know better than to argue with Sophie. You, Andrew, and Sophie head out the back door. You're surprised to see Grandma kneeling in the rose garden. She's changed out of her purple and yellow outfit into an even stranger one, a shiny silver jumpsuit. I thought she was taking a nap, you murmur. Is that your grandmother? Andrew asks. I think so, you answer uncertainly. Sophie laughs. What do you mean? Don't you know your own grandmother? Girl, you don't know the half of it. Right now, you're not so sure. Page 75. You stare at the woman in the rose garden, the woman who claims to be your grandmother. You think back to the train station, your mother's strange phone call. Could the grandma in the garden be an imposter? She looks cool, Sophie interrupts your thoughts. Introduce us! I love Sophie. Sophie's the best character. They saved the best for last. Maybe you should tell Sophie and Andrew your suspicions. They can help you keep an eye on her. Try to figure out if she is who she says she is. Or maybe you're just being silly. After all, why would anyone impersonate your grandmother? And she did say she wanted to meet your friends. If we introduce Andrew and Sophie to Grandma, turn to page 84. If we spy first, turn to page 78. This I'm going to put up to a poll because we haven't done a poll in a minute. And it feels major. Poll. All right, get your voting hands ready. It's almost time to Pokemon Go to the polls. Tell. Don't tell. So we're telling Sophie and Andrew what we think, or we're just chilling and introducing them. I'm giving us 2 minutes because that gives me time to take a big swig of my beverage. Yeehaw. Never trust adults. Okay, Sophie and Andrew are our age. They are children. We can trust them. They are 10. Like, to be clear, these are not adults. These are our friends. Do we trust them? Do we tell them our secret that we suspect our grandma is an imposter, perhaps? Or do we just roll with it and introduce Grandmama to our dearest of friends? You don't trust Grandma. She's an adult. Sure, but that's not the thing that's up for debate here. That's not what we're voting on. I can't stress that enough. Okay, we're halfway through. Poll is neck and neck. Democracy dies in darkness. Get your votes in. Tell is pulling ahead, but just a little. It's 10-8. Ooh, what are we gonna do? I'm watching. Oh, 10-9. The poll just got closer. 10 out of 10. 10-10. You guys, make a decision. We have to Pokemon Go to the polls. If it ends in a tie, I'm just gonna eat the book. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm so stressed out. What's it going to be? I'm staring at it. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Tell pulled ahead, but Don't Tell tried to catch up, but it ended with 13 votes to 11 votes for Tell. So we are going to tell Sophie and Andrew that we think our grandma is a little weird. Let's spy first. Is what it says. Grandma makes you nervous. You want to find out more about her. I'll introduce you later, you tell Sophie and Andrew. Right now, there's something you need to help me with. You lead them back into the house. Sitting at the kitchen table, you quickly describe all the strange things you've noticed about Grandma since she's been here. Sophie snorts. So your grandmother is stronger than you. What's the big deal? And my mom is always mixing up words, Andrew adds. Half the time she calls me by my sister's name. So what if your grandma said eggs instead of seeds? You sigh. They don't believe you. It's more than grandma's weird behavior, you explain. It's a feeling I have. Andrew and Sophie laugh. Oh, excuse me, Sophie teases. I didn't realize you had a feeling. We all know how reliable those feelings are, Andrew adds. Guys, you run your hands through your hair. I'm serious. Don't freak, Sophie consoles you with a laugh. We think you're nuts, but we'll still help you. Yeah, Andrew nods. Spying will be fun. What's the plan? Plan? You hadn't thought of one yet. You gaze out the kitchen window at Grandma in the garden. Maybe we should watch Grandma and try to figure out what she's doing in the rose garden, you suggest. Okay. Andrew and Sophie head for the door. Then you have another idea. Or maybe we should search her room. Andrew and Sophie gaze at you. She's your grandmother, Andrew says. Make up your mind. Do we spy on Grandma in the garden or do we search her room? I think we should search her room. So I'm going to say we do that. But we're bookmarking it, obviously. We'll get back to it. This would be a good chance to find out more about Grandma, you tell Sophie and Andrew. Let's search her room. Aye, aye, Chief. Sophie salutes you. You all trudge up to Grandma's room. The door is shut. Glancing around, you quickly turn the doorknob. Then the three of you slip inside. You gaze around the room. It just looks like an ordinary bedroom. Andrew fidgets beside you. We should hurry here, just I don't want to get caught in here. He's right. But where do you begin? To search her closets, turn to page 62. To look under the bed, turn to page 76. Oh my God, I think we have to look under the bed. It's just right there after all. You kneel down to peer under the bed. No wonder Grandma's suitcases were so heavy, you remark. There's a lot of junk under here. Sophie and Andrew help you drag stuff out from under the bed, but you can't figure out what any of it is. Strange boxes that don't seem to open. Bottles filled with strange liquids. You examine something that looks like a laptop computer, but the keys have weird squiggles instead of letters. The only things you recognize are the two empty suitcases. What are these things? Sophie asks. You shake your head. You reach for the computer-like object and freeze. Footsteps! Hide under the bed on page 66. Oh no! Oh my God! All right. There's barely room under the bed for all of Grandma's things and the three of you, but somehow you fit. You're squashing me, Sophie complains. Shh, you hiss. From under the bed, you can see Grandma's shoes enter the room. She kicks them off. Then she moves to the corner of the room you can't see, but you can hear her humming to herself. A moment later, you see a bizarre sight. You still hear Grandma, but what you see is a long, purple, scaly tail. You're so startled, you gasp. Sophie and Andrew immediately clap their hands over your mouth. Did Grandma hear you? Turn to page 11. Out! Now! Grandma rasps. She heard you. You and your friends crawl out from under the bed. You gaze at the horrifying creature in front of you. Grandma's human face is shoved up on top of her head as if it were a Halloween mask. In its place is an oozing blob of flesh. A single yellow eye gleams in the center. She's an alien, but a different kind on this branch. Interfering fools, the grandma creature booms. Now I will have to destroy you ahead of schedule. Before you can protest, the creature spits at you. Gross. A long, sticky strand of saliva flies out of her mouth. It attaches to your forehead and wraps around Sophie's and Andrew's heads. It burns where it touches your skin. Yuck, Sophie shrieks. The creature spits over and over again. The strands are like spider's web. Soon, you and your friends are completely encased in a sticky cocoon. You can't see a thing. You can't escape the pod, the creature informs you, and the acid in the web will eat through your flesh. You hear her leave the room. This is one sticky situation you can't get out of, so this must be the end. We got killed to death. Okay, well, would we die if we searched the closet instead of under the bed? Let's find out together. Search the closets instead of under the bed. You stride to one of the closets. This seems like a good place to start, you announce. You fling open the door and gasp. Oh, yeah, no, I do remember that, JV. Yes. What is it? Sophie asks, her voice trembling. You turn to her, a terrified look on your face. Grandma's other clothes are even uglier than her purple and yellow outfit. Sophie punches your arm. That's not funny. Andrew laughs. Yeah, it is. He steps into the closet and pushes aside the row of clothes hanging from the rod and gasps. You snort. Andrew, we're not going to fall for that now. It wasn't funny the first time, Sophie adds. I'm not being funny, Andrew tells you. He points to the back of the closet. You peer behind him. There, sitting on the shelves, is a shoebox overflowing with hands. Human hands! Ah!
Scopa!
We found them. Yes, I remember. Oh my God. Okay. I'm having flashbacks to some of the other Goosebumps books, but hands. 118. You reach toward the box of hands. Your stomach lurches, but you have to find out if they're real. Your fingers gently poke at the flesh. Rubber. You let out a huge sigh. They're fake, you exclaim. Well, that doesn't explain why they're here, Sophie points out. Fair. Andrew searches the closet over by the window. There are feet in this closet, he tells you. Before you can go over to look, you hear footsteps on the stairs. Grandma! Quick, we have to get out of here, you whisper hoarsely. The footsteps are coming closer. If we leave now, Sophie says, she'll see us. Sophie's right. Your eyes desperately scan the room for a place to hide, or a way out. Your gaze lands on the window. Do you dare? Or should you pop into the closet? You could call this a real Sophie's choice. Sorry. Hit that button every time I make a bad joke. Do we fly out the window or do we hide in the closet? I think we should hide in the closet, personally. I want to see if she kills us the same way. In here, you hiss. You, Andrew, and Sophie pile into the closet. You yank the door shut behind you just as the bedroom door bursts open. You can hear Grandma bustling about in the room. Please don't look in the closet, you think over and over. Please don't look in the closet. Sophie has her hand over her mouth. Andrew's eyes are shut. After a few tense moments, you hear the door open and close again. You glance at Sophie and Andrew. Sophie shrugs. Andrew opens his eyes and nods. You take a deep breath and open the door. All clear. Sophie pulls out one of the shoe boxes from the closet. She's got other stuff in here too, she informs you. She holds up a wig. Andrew reaches in and pulls out a mask. It looks exactly like your mother. You feel your own very real face go pale. Why would Grandma have something like that, you ask? Hey, look at this. Sophie holds up a pile of newspaper clippings. They're all about the meteor shower tonight. I don't get it, you wail. None of this makes any sense. Why would Grandma have these things? Why is she obsessed with the rose garden? And those clippings? What is up with all of this? I think you should go ask her, Sophie suggests. Are you nuts? Andrew scoffs. We should wait until the meteor shower to see if she does something. Follow Sophie's advice and ask Grandma what's up on page 125, or wait and see what happens during the meteor shower on page 5. I desperately want to ask Grandma what's up. So we will do this. It's also just one page away. To quote Andrew, are you nuts? You must not read these books very often. Otherwise, you would know better. Do you actually think that Grandma will tell you why she has boxes of hands and feet? Why she has a mask that could pass for your mom? What the deal is with the rose garden and the meteors? Okay, maybe she will tell you, but then what will she do? Chances are it won't be pretty. Very quickly turn back to page 127 and make a different choice. They got our asses again! Fine. We're gonna wait. He's mean in this book. Hey, new Side Games. Wait and see seems like the best thing to do, and we're smart, so we picked that first. But you don't want to do it here. You double-check the newspaper article. Let's go back where the meteor shower is supposed to begin. Let's get back here. Oh my God. I don't know what I read there. Let's get back here when the meteor shower is supposed to begin. You instruct Sophie and Andrew, then maybe we'll find out how it all ties in together. You leave a note for Grandma and head over to the park to play Frisbee. You can't help wondering what will happen. You're so distracted you miss the Frisbee every single time. I like that they do just go and play Frisbee instead of like prepping for what could happen. They're like, no, we'll just play Frisbee. We shouldn't lie to our grandma. At 7 p.m. sharp, you, Sophie, and Andrew creep back to the rose garden. It looks spooky in the dark. The roses seem even larger than they did before, and there's no sign of Grandma. I bet nothing will happen, you say. I'm sure there's a logical explanation for everything. Before Sophie and Andrew can answer, the ground beneath your feet begins to rumble. What's going on? Sophie cries. You glance up. Dozens of meteors shoot across the sky. They light up the night. You can see the garden clearly and Grandma. She stands in the middle of the roses. By the light of the meteor shower, you watch Grandma reach up and pull off her face. Ah! You hear Sophie and Andrew gasp beside you, but you can't tear your eyes away. Grandma's new face oozes and bubbles. A single yellow eye blinks in the center of her forehead. Her thick purple tail thrashes wildly. Surrounding her are dozens of purple pulsating eggs. The vibration from the eggs make the ground shake. Grandma lets out a bone-chilling howl. Immediately, all the eggs burst open. Dun, dun, dun. The ground shakes so violently that you, Sophie, and Andrew are thrown down. You stay low, too terrified to move. Dozens of miniature versions of the gross grandma burst from the eggs. The purple flesh doesn't look any better baby-sized. If anything, you think the young ones are more disgusting. Grandma still hasn't seen you. All the newly hatched creatures line up in front of her. My children, she addresses them. We have traveled to this galaxy to take over this world. You know what you must do. First, feed and grow. Next, fit yourselves out with human body parts. She holds up one of the rubber masks that you saw in her room earlier. And then, she finishes with a hideous cackle, go forth and carry out the master plan. You, Sophie, and Andrew all wear the same look of horror on your faces. We've got to stop them. Do you think we can fight them right here? Sophie whispers. No way. Let's go tell my parents, Andrew urges. We need help. To fight the aliens, turn to page 88. To tell Andrew's parents, go to page 94. I think that's very funny, so I would like to tell Andrew's parents. I don't want to face those creatures alone, you say. Let's go get help. The three of you half crawl, half stumble out of the backyard. The moment you reach the street, you take off running. You cover the 3 blocks to Andrew's house in record time. Mom, Dad, Andrew yells as you charge through the front door. Come quick. Andrew's parents step into the hallway from the dining room. What's all this shouting then? His dad asks. He's very English. They're English. I already told you. Aliens, you blurt. There are aliens in my backyard. Andrew's parents stare at you. Then they start to laugh. Oh no, they don't believe you. Come see, you shriek. There are dozens of them in my backyard. Andrew, tell them. But he doesn't say a word. You turn to Sophie. Sophie, you saw them. Tell them I'm not crazy. You don't like the way they're all smiling at you, as if they were all in on a big joke. There are aliens trying to take over the world, you shout. Why don't you believe me? We do believe you, Andrew's mother says in a soothing tone. Then she peels off her face. So do Andrew, Sophie, and Andrew's dad. They look exactly like Grandma. This is bad. Turn to page 93 to see if there's a way out. Sophie, Andrew, Andrew's parents, they're all aliens. You're the only human in the room. You're too horrified to think of running. Andrew reaches into his pocket and pulls out a squirming baby alien. He places it on your shoulder. Feed and grow, he tells it. Uh-oh. As the baby alien nibbles at your ear, you think, Mom wouldn't let me get my ear pierced, but I got my way in the ow! And it says end in parentheses there. It says what ow means. Okay. So, let's not tell Andrew's parents, because if we do, then our friends are aliens and they eat us. Okay. Kind of a long con. At least I got to play Frisbee before eating us. One last game, you know? Okay. We have to stop them now, you whisper. By the time we go for help, they could be anywhere. Doing anything, Andrew adds with a shudder. But how can you stop them, you wonder? You watch the horrifying creatures, trying to think of an idea. Feed well, Grandma orders, and then we must begin. The slimy aliens swarm over the roses, munching everything in their path. Grandma strolls through the wriggling masses. You remember how she told them to feed and grow. You don't have much time. Whatever you do, it has to be fast and effective. Let's squash them, you decide, while they're all in the garden. Brilliant, Sophie replies. How? Let's figure out the answer on page 13. We'll throw stuff at them. You point to Grandma's window. From up there. The aliens are busy eating and don't notice you sneaking into the house. You race to Grandma's room. They're all crowded together in that corner, you cry, glancing out the window. Even Grandma. We might be able to get them all at once. Let's use this. Andrew struggles to get the mattress off the bed. You and Sophie help him drag it to the window. 1, 2. You strain to lift the mattress over the sill. 3. The mattress drops directly on top of the group of aliens. Did it work? Find out on page 9. You gaze down at the garden, holding your breath. Nothing's moving, Sophie says. No sounds, Andrew adds hopefully. You nod. Could you have done it? Did you actually destroy the aliens? You open your mouth to say something. But then your jaw drops. Dozens of wormy aliens slither out from under the mattress, and they're bigger than they were 5 minutes ago. It didn't work, you wail. Maybe the mattress was too soft, Andrew says. It wasn't heavy enough, you realize. Throw everything you can get your hands on. Frantically, you grab a chair and a footstool. Out the window. Andrew and Sophie toss down Grandma's suitcases. You hurl out I thought they were heavy. What do you mean? You hurl out the stereo and a radio. They land with a crash. The radio blasts on. There's nothing left to throw, and the aliens are still swarming around the garden. You gaze down at the garden. You wonder how long it will be before the aliens come after you. Then you notice something strange. The creatures slither easily out from under the objects you've thrown down on them, but the aliens near the radio shrivel up and fall over. The radio, you shout. It destroys them. They must be allergic to sound waves or something. Awesome, Andrew yells. We found a weapon. You dash into your room and get your radio. Sophie grabs your cassette player and pops in a tape. Wow, a radio in every bedroom and a chicken in every pot. This is America. The 90s were beautiful. Andrew snatches the portable CD player. You race downstairs and into the garden. You aim the radio at a group of creatures. Their slimy skin puckers, turning black. They curl up. Little wisps of smoke rise from their crinkly bodies. It's working. Sophie and Andrew use the tape and CD players the same way. Little aliens are shriveling all around you. No! A voice bellows. Grandma! Page 112. Grandma yanks the tape player out of Sophie's hands. She throws it to the ground. Andrew runs and trips, smashing the CD player. You fucking idiot, Andrew. You're so scared you drop the radio. Silence. Aliens swarm around you. Their teeth dig into your ankles. Think of something. Try anything. Maybe it wasn't sound waves that killed the creatures. You realize maybe it was music. You sing the first words that pop into your head. Happy birthday to you, you warble. No! Grandma shrieks again. The aliens gnawing on your ankles fall over. Andrew and Sophie figure out what you're doing. They begin singing too. After 5 choruses of happy birthday, the garden is filled with dead aliens. You defeated them all. Even Grandma. You, Sophie, and Andrew collapse to the ground. We did it, you exclaim. We stopped the alien invasion. Now what do we do? Sophie asks. Do we tell someone? A broad grin spreads across your face. I think we should form a singing group. What? Andrew stares at you. A singing group? You bet, you reply. We'd knock 'em dead. The end. So we form a band. That's pretty good. Okay. I think that my voice needs a little bit of a break. We're going to continue this thread, but we're going to take a tiny break. How would you like me to take the break? Shall it be? I will do a poll. Which games satiate our bloodlust better? How to break Tetris or Fortnite? I shall give us 2 minutes. How to break. It is like the Golf Pro ending from the cruise book. I mean, it would be more so if Grandma then insisted on being our manager, but she can't because she is dead from our voices. If the poll ties, I'll eat my Nintendo Switch. You guys do that. I'm going to very quietly. Oh, too sleepy to run away. Oh, he was so asleep. Oh, look at him. He doesn't want me to eat the Nintendo Switch. He wants me to just play a game that you guys choose. Look how tired he is. Behold the goose. Hi, baby boy. Little man, little man, little man, little man. Look how tired he is. Is there a Tetronimo skin for Fortnite? No. Only Nintendo exclusives, I believe. Bye, baby. Thank you for hanging out. Slappy wants a break as well. Isn't that right, Slappy? Okay. Tetris has pulled ahead with 11 votes versus Fortnite's 9. We just have to satiate our bloodlust a little in a way that lets me rest my voice for just a tiny bit. And then we're going to get back to reading the book. I'm like staring at the poll. Tetris wins by 1 vote. Your vote always counts. Don't forget to Pokemon Go to the polls. Okay. This thing on. All right. Switch my monitor so that I can see it. Okay. Put my headphones in because I gotta be able to hear it as well. Oh, it's the thing I was playing last time. And I didn't do well last time. That was the other thing I just remembered. Okay, we're taking a quick Tetris 99 break. I'm changing the game to Tetris 99. And then we're gonna get back to playing Secret Agent Grandma. But oof, my voice. We need a rest. Okay, let's do this thing. Oh wait, you guys have to be able to see it as well. Sorry, forgot what we were doing. That would have been really fun. You just watch me stare at the screen. I've simply forgotten how to play video game. That was an accident. Please forgive me. Can't remember how to do Tetris. There, I fixed it. It's like it never even happened. Hate that. Gotta do something stupid instead. I fixed it. I figured it out. Don't worry. I know you were all worried, but you didn't have to be. That's just what happens when you don't believe in me, I suppose. I think by now you would. They're about to tell us to step on a log, everyone. Get ready. They did it. They told us. Jesus Christ. Have to fix this. This is no good, I would say. Ooh, bad. Yeah, no. That's exactly the place I should have deserved for that gameplay at the end there. That was no good. We have to do again, and we have to do better. We barely got to step on a log. Besides, I want to hear the top 10 song. It's my favorite song. Okay, we're gonna do some murders. I don't think I KO'd anybody. What was happening in that game? The vibes were off. I'm gonna blame the vibes. It wasn't my fault, clearly. It was the vibes. Cool, a big stupid tower. Love that. Ah, fuck. Ah, no. Ah, beans. Gotta fix that, I suppose. It was the big super tower's fault. Yeah, it's obviously everyone's fault but mine. Everyone knows this. I've done nothing wrong ever, not once in my life. Oh. I have to hear them do the Step on a Log song. I have to hear them do the top 10 song. They're my favorite songs. The fact that I can't listen to them makes me sad. The fact that I'm being punished for lack of skill is also sad. Via no music. I'm like the opposite of those aliens. I love beautiful songs like Step on a Log. Slightly better this time, but can't get too comfortable. This is no good. Oh, wait, we got this, we got a way out. There we go. Get that shit out. I still only have 4 KOs. It does feel like it should be more. I don't know what's going on today. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, it's not the button I hit. Come on, man. Fuck. It sucks. No! Ah, well, top 10. We did it. We did it. We made top 10. We did it. That was the goal. The goal was top 10. I did hit a button that would have made for a better game, and it just didn't fucking do it. So there's that. All right, shall we go back to the book? That was a good break for my voice. Sleep mode on that. Okay. Change the category back to just chatting so people don't get confused looking for Tetris. And I'm going to make it so I can see you guys out of this monitor again. Okay. Great. It was the Black's fault. Thank you. Okay. Book. All right. So I'm looking for, again, the most recent choice we made. Okay, Grandma's coming back to the room. We were searching in her room. We found all that weird shit in her closet. We hid in the closet. We can this time choose to go out through the window. The block zippy trimmy. Thank you, Jack. Okay, this way. You dash to the window. Andrew and Sophie right behind you. You yank it open and stick your head out. The ground suddenly seems very far away. It's written as one word, far away. It is not one word. It should be 2 words, but they wrote far away. So the ground seems very far away. However, Grandma's footsteps are definitely very close. Try to land in the rose garden. You instruct your friends. What the fuck? Of all the plants to land on? You pick the one with the spikes? Hey, guy? The bushes should help cushion the fall. This is just the bit from the other guys. You climb out onto the window ledge. You shut your eyes, take a deep breath, and then you jump. You land on a tall rose bush. Thorns poke you all over. Yeah, no shit. You feel shaken up, but you aren't hurt. Other than the thorns, I suppose. Andrew and Sophie leap down beside you. You pull yourself out of the scratchy branches and plop onto the soft ground. You gaze up at the window. Grandma smiles down at you. A chilling, evil smile. Then she vanishes back inside. Uh-oh. So I think she knew we were in her room. She's seen us, you yell. We've got to get out of here. You grab Andrew's hands and help him out of the snarl of roses. Sophie crawls out from under a bush. Everybody okay, you ask? No permanent damage, Sophie replies. Andrew nods. Then let's move it. Yes, we all bleed to death. And yes, this is the plot line where we're too dumb to decode what empla means. Yes. You turn to run and trip over a tangle of roots. The bushes are so thick that you can't see Grandma, but you can hear her. She's come out of the house. She's just outside the garden. You scramble to your feet. You push aside a clump of roses and come face to face with a pair of eyes. Eyes in the middle of a big, fat rose. The eyes on the rose blink at you. Sophie, Andrew, you choke out, run! But your warning comes too late. Long green tendrils wrap themselves around you and your friends. No! Sophie shrieks. What's happening? Andrew screams. You strain against the tight grip of the plant. Grandma, help us, you cry. But Grandma ignores you. She skips through the rose bushes, chanting. You're about to holler again when the rose spits a glob of slimy orange goo right into your face. It fills your mouth and eyes. You wipe your face on your sleeve, but the sticky substance won't come off. It's too thick. You can't see a thing. But you can hear Sophie and Andrew screaming for help, and Grandma reciting something. It sounds like a nursery rhyme. Goose. Goose is on the computer. Goose is off the computer. You struggle to move toward your friends, but your feet are stuck. Is the plant wrapped around them, you wonder? Then you realize the horrible truth. You no longer have feet. You have roots. You're turning into a plant. Panic rises in your chest, making it difficult for you to breathe. Grandma, help, you pant, but it's no use. I don't know why I have these in still. She continues to chant. Your face twists, your skin flakes, forming petals. Your arms flatten against your sides. Your body gets longer and thinner. Okay. The whole time, Grandma goes on chanting. A chill runs through your mutated body. You finally realize what she's reciting. It's a nursery rhyme, all right, but with some major changes in the words. Roses are red. Violets are blue. What you didn't know, the rose would be you! The end! Fucking beefed it. This is why you should never jump out of windows. Now, second most recent choice. We have two choices in here. This one is spy on Grandma in the garden or search her room. We chose to search her room last time, which went okay. Let's spy on her in the garden. Page 79. You see a little bit of Goose? Yep, well spotted. That white thing right there is Goose's ass. Let's find out what Grandma's doing in the garden, you say. Won't she notice us? Andrew asks. You gaze out the kitchen window. The treehouse, you exclaim. Oh, of course, the treehouse that just appeared out of nowhere. We can spy on her from there. Sophie slaps you a high five. Great plan. Well, Frank Scenario, you missed some really good Tetris playing. What do you mean, what'd you miss? Okay. And Sophie slaps a high five. You, Sophie, and Andrew dart out the door. You scurry up the tree trunk. At the top, you pull yourself onto the platform. Andrew and Sophie flop down beside you on the weathered planks. You peer down at Grandma. She moves slowly through the rows of roses, stopping at each one. Sophie fakes a yawn. Wake me when something exciting happens. Grandma kneels beside a rose bush and gently brushes soil away from the roots. Then, very carefully, she brings something up from under the ground. A huge purple egg. You gasp. Grandma did plant eggs in the rose garden. The large purple egg in her hand pulses as if it were breathing, as if it were getting ready to burst from the shell. The only thing consistent across all timelines is that the rose garden is full of eggs. I could also go for a burger, to be quite honest. Look at this, you whisper. Sophie and Andrew pop their heads up over the side of the treehouse. Grandma holds up another throbbing purple egg. She puts her free hand in her mouth. When she pulls it back out, her index finger has turned lime green. A metal tip as sharp as a pin extends where her nail should be. That's not a human finger, you realize. That's a great point, CJ. Grandma is really not a secret agent in 99% of the timelines. Grandma sticks the metal tip into the pulsing egg. It throbs faster, then it glows as if it were lit up from inside. Satisfied, Grandma lays the egg back down on the ground. Then she moves on to the next rose bush. Soon she makes her way through the entire garden and heads back to the house. Andrew and Sophie stare at you. I hate to have to say this, Andrew begins. Your grandma is... I think... Sophie tries. You nod miserably. I know, you say. My grandma is a secret agent. Just kidding. You say, my grandma is an alien. Turn to page 69. Nice. What's on page 69? Is it fun? It isn't. It's boring. It's just a page. You sit in silence, too stunned to think. Shouldn't we do something? Sophie asks finally. Yes, Andrew chimes in. Let's call the police. And tell them what, you demand. There's an alien in my yard digging up purple eggs and poking them with a green fingernail? Would you believe that story? I guess not, Andrew admits. I know what we have to do, Sophie says. We have to capture your grandma. Then we'll torture her until she spills her guts. Jesus Christ, Sophie. Whoa, is Sophie serious? Turn to page 114. What an escalation. Andrew says go to the cops. Sophie says it's time for torture. Who can we trust? It's only 1997. Sophie, you stare at your friend. She grins. Just kidding about the torture part, but I do think we should capture your grandma. A horrible thought hits you. Oh no, you gasp. If the woman in the garden is an alien, then the woman I saw at the train station must have been my real grandmother. What should you do? Your real grandma is in danger, but you and your friends are in danger too. Maybe the whole world is in danger from the alien. You don't know why she's here. We can try and capture the alien grandma on page 73, or we can try to find and rescue our real grandmother on page 51. That's kind of fun. I like the idea of going back and trying to find the grandma. Let's do that. The alien is an imposter, you exclaim. She's done something with my real grandma. We have to save her. You explain to Sophie and Andrew about seeing the other woman on the train. We have to go back to the train station. You start climbing out of the treehouse. Do you really think she'll still be there? Sophie asks. The question stops you. You cling to the tree trunk. Maybe going to the train station is a dumb idea, but it's the only idea you have. What else can we do? You demand. At least it's a place to start. You scurry the rest of the way down and land with a soft thud on the grass. Sophie and Andrew drop down beside you. The three of you sneak around the side of the house. No sign of Grandma. You dash across your front lawn. Crack! You glance up. Something moved in the tree. Who or what made that sound? Find out on page 6. Crack! You hear it again. You peer up into the tree by your front gate. There's a man up there, you explain. Don't look up, the man in the tree orders. You, Sophie, and Andrew immediately stare down to the ground. Tell me, the man continues, is your grandma around? He's French. I don't know if you can tell. Your head snaps up. Do you want to see her? You demand. No, the man tells you in a hoarse whisper. I want to make sure she does not see me. She's in the back, you tell him. The man leaps down out of the tree. His brown eyes narrow as he studies your face. He seems to be sizing you up. Two can play at this game, you figure. You check him out. His black hair is cut very short. He wears torn black jeans and a black t-shirt. So who are you? Sophie blurts. Special Agent Bendry, the man says. I'm an alien investigator, and I think the four of us should have a chat. Should you trust this guy? Maybe he can help you. Or maybe he's another imposter. Get rid of him or spill the beans. I think we gotta spill the beans. This guy was in our tree, and he looks really cool. And he's French, and I want to keep doing the accent. Maybe this guy can help you you reason, but you need to be careful. After all, you did bring home the wrong grandma. It's a good point. What do you mean you're an alien investigator, you ask? The guy grins. What does it sound like? So why did you ask about Grandma? Sophie demands. Why are you calling her Grandma, Sophie? She's our grandma. Whatever. Good question. You wish you had thought of it. Special Agent Bendry glances around. Because I know that the woman claiming to be your grandmother is an imposter. The subtitles are actually doing a pretty good job keeping up with my incredible accent work. I am impressed. Like, they're not perfect, but they're good. Anyone who's relying heavily on the subtitles, please know I'm doing a thick and extremely bad French accent. So that's why it might seem a little weird right now. Okay. Your mouth drops open. How do you know? Bendry's voice drops down to a low whisper. Your real grandma is my partner. Partner. My grandma is a special agent too? See, she's a special agent in this one. Ha-ha! It is in more than one plot thread. We found it. Exactly. We've been tracking an alien who we believe has assumed your grandmother's identity. Why would anyone impersonate my grandma? Your head is spinning. Bendry shrugs. To find out how much we know, to feed us false information, it could be anything. Why is the alien here? Andrew asks. We're not sure, Bendry replies. The alien planted eggs in the rose garden here. We suspect they are about to hatch. You shudder. Sophie's face has grown pale. And Andrew looks like he's ready to throw up. I need your help. Bendry continues. Sorry. I'm getting distracted. I'm gonna go to a different like window because I have like Streamlabs open here and I'm getting distracted by how accurate the captions are. It's crazy. Okay. Focus. We need your help. We know where they've taken your grandma. The trouble is the aliens who captured her know me, but you may be able to sneak into their headquarters. Your mouth suddenly goes dry. Me, you choke out. Or, Bendry goes on, you can keep an eye on the eggs. Both choices sound terrifying, but you have to pick one. Either find Grandma or spy on the alien eggs. I think we've spied on a lot of alien eggs today. I would like to find Grandma. At the aliens' headquarters. I think we should go to a second location with a stranger who was in our tree. I want to help find my real grandma, you declare. Good choice, kid. Bendry smiles at you. Come on. He leads you through town. In a few minutes, you, Sophie, Andrew, and Special Agent Bendry stand outside an abandoned rail yard. One train car sits alone in the back of the yard. The aliens dragged your grandma into the last train car, Bendry explains. Then they unhooked the car from the one in front of it and brought it here. You gaze at the nearly empty train yard. Jesus. You shiver. Just being here gives you the creeps. Knowing aliens are inside that train car makes your knees wobble with fear. Let's go. Bendry leads you, Sophie, and Andrew to a small opening in the fence. You crawl through and sneak toward the train car. The sun is setting, throwing weird shadows. Your heart pounds so hard, you're afraid the aliens inside might hear it. Suddenly, the night sky brightens. The meteor shower, Sophie gasps. Oh no, Bendry exclaims. Why is he so upset about the meteor shower, you wonder? How long did it take us to get here? We know the meteor shower takes place at 7 o'clock because of how long our frisbee game took. It was the middle of the day. Anyway, why is he so upset about the meteor shower? Page 42. You glance at Bendry. Your mouth drops open in horror. By the bright light of the meteor rays, you can clearly see Special Agent Bendry. He's transforming in front of you. Stalks shoot out from his face. Clusters of eyeballs dangle from the stalks. His head becomes a massive skull as his human skin slithers off and drops to the ground. No! Sophie shrieks. You're too terrified to make a sound or to run. 3 creatures exactly like Bendry burst through the car door. They quickly drag you and your friends inside. Sorry, Bendry apologizes to the other creatures. I tried to get back before the meteors hit, but these kids delayed me. No problem, one of the gross creatures responds. They're all just French. We know just how to handle them. It grins. When Special Agent Bendry told you he was an alien investigator, he didn't mean he investigated aliens. He meant he was an alien who investigated. Too bad you didn't investigate his story, because now you're about to come to a gruesome end. Okay. This is just what the French do when you go to a second location with them. So I think the most recent choice we made was spy on the eggs. So we'll do that instead. The lesson to be learned is don't go to a second location with a stranger. Sometimes they do want to teach you that. Because we are 10. We're learning. We'll keep an eye on the eggs for you tell Special Agent Bendry. He gives a sharp nod. Good. You should be safe if you act like you believe that woman is your real grandma, he assures you. Then he takes off down the street. Wait, you call after him. He never told you what you're supposed to do if the eggs hatch. But he's gone. You, Sophie, and Andrew spend the rest of the afternoon up in your room. You take turns peering down at the garden. Still nothing, Sophie grumbles. This is boring. Maybe it all ties in with the meteor shower tonight, you suggest. We'll go downstairs right before it begins. Later that evening, the three of you sneak out to the garden. Grandma's in the living room watching TV. You flick on your flashlights. Sorry? Pardon me. I apologize. Do we have our weapons, you ask? Sophie hands you 3 water guns. You fill them with bug spray. Hey, it's the best you can do on short notice. Okay, you announce. We're ready. Wait for the meteor shower to begin on page 124. Suddenly, your flashlights blink out. Oh no, you gasp. What's wrong with the flashlights? Look at the sky, Sophie yells. You glance up. Your mouth drops open in awe. The sky is lit up with shooting stars. Hundreds of specks of light dance in the blackness. The night becomes almost as bright as day. There must be hundreds of them, Andrew murmurs. You gaze at the dazzling sight. It's beautiful, you say. Then you glance over at the rose garden. You begin to tremble. The eggs are completely visible in the brilliant light of the meteor shower. They bounce around on the ground. You hear a low rumbling sound like a refrigerator humming. It's coming from the eggs. I think they're about to hatch, you shout. Get ready, you holler. Sophie and Andrew clutch their water guns. You aim yours directly at the pulsing, humming eggs in front of you. The night sky brightens even more. With a roar, the eggs burst open. Bits of purple eggshell rain down on you. Creatures crawl out of the eggs. Each one of them is different. A striped, football-shaped creature scuttles up to you on 12 spidery legs. Your finger tightens on the trigger of your water gun. Page 32. Before you can shoot, the spidery creature speaks in perfect English. Thank you for rescuing us, it chirps. You're welcome, you stammer. Your grandma is an evil alien who kept us captive, the creature explains. You have released us from our prison shells. We owe you our lives. We will never leave you. Say what? Special Agent Bendry rushes out of your house. While you were keeping an eye on the eggs, we snuck in and captured Grandma, he tells you. She's in custody now, thanks to your help. He dashes off. Wait, you call after him. But it's too late. He's gone. You never got to ask him one very important question. How are you going to explain the dozens of alien house guests to your parents? Well, your mom is always telling you to make more friends. ... The end. We're parents now. That's a good ending. Okay. Let me make sure. I think that the most recent choice we have now is get rid of Bendry. But I want to double check. Yeah, we have to get rid of Bendry. Page 19. Alien investigator. Great joke. You force a laugh. Isn't that funny, guys? You turn to Sophie and Andrew, hoping they get what you're doing. Total laugh riot, Sophie guffaws. Had me in stitches, Andrew adds. Listen, you say to Bendry, we have an appointment. We don't have time for games. You march briskly down the walk. You'll be sorry, Bendry calls after you. You could really use my help. I don't think we could, actually. You ignore him. You hurry down the street, Sophie and Andrew on your heels. Are you sure? Andrew begins. You glare at him and he shuts up. Of course you're not sure, you think, but you don't trust that special agent guy. You just hope you don't regret refusing to speak to him. Finally, you, Sophie, and Andrew arrive at the train station. The place is deserted. No trains anymore today. Your footsteps echo in the stillness as you trudge down the platform and into the station. Even the information booth is closed. It's the middle of the day. Now what? Sophie asks. I'm thinking, you snap. Andrew starts rubbing his head. Good, that means his brain is working. Maybe he'll figure out what to do. You glance up and down the platform. A light in the distance begins getting larger. The platform begins to rumble. Train coming in. The train gives you an idea. You'll ask the conductor for a train schedule. Then maybe you can figure out where Grandma's train was headed. You explain your plan to Sophie and Andrew. Whatever. Sophie shrugs her shoulders. You can tell she doesn't think it's much of a plan. The train roars into the station. Now, that's strange, you think. No one's getting on, and no one's getting off. Page 39. Let's get on board, you say. We'll track down a conductor. You, Sophie, and Andrew board the train. You slide open the door and enter the first car. And stop. A chill of horror runs along your spine. Your fingers tremble with fear. Okay, I'm now about to read to you the ending one of the only endings I remember from this book. And the fact that it happens in this book made me fucking delighted. So get ready. You slide open the door and enter the first car and stop. A chill of horror runs along your spine. Your fingers tremble with fear. There, Andrew stammers. Ghosts, you whisper. The train car is filled with shimmering figures, each more horrifying than the last. Heads float by without bodies. Bodies float by without heads. Skeletons move up and down the aisle. Skeletons are here too. Wispy, cloudy girls and boys hover a few inches off the ground. You reach for the door handle. It won't budge, and the train begins to move. We're trapped, you shriek. If only you had stayed home and listened to Special Agent Bendry, because compared to these ghouls and aliens, nothing. Now you're stuck on this train going nowhere. That is, nowhere you want to go. Let's put it this way. Now that you're on the ghost train, this adventure has definitely come to the end. Fucking ghost train. Like, that's what you get for not talking to that strange man. Okay. The ghost train's taking us to hell. We're going to hell on the ghost train, obviously. So we now are trying to capture alien grandma rather than the fruitless attempts to rescue our real grandma, none of which work out for us. We'd better try to capture the aliens, you decide. It's the only way we'll be able to get someone to believe us. And help us, Andrew adds with a shudder. But how? There are 3 of us and only 1 alien, Sophie points out. Maybe we can knock her out and lock her up. It's the best idea anyone can come up with. I like that they were like Andrew's thinking in the last one, and then he never comes up with anything. They're like, he's thinking. Maybe we can knock her out and lock her up. It's the best idea anyone can come up with. You 2 hide in the garage. You instruct your friends. I'll find some way to lure Grandma there. Then you'll jump her. That way we have surprise on our sides. Sounds good, Andrew says. Sophie nods in agreement. The 3 of you rush to the garage. You drum your fingers on the door, trying to think of a way to get Grandma to follow the plan. What would attract Grandma's attention? You wonder. Then it hits you. The roses, of course. She'll definitely come running if something threatens her precious roses. You grab the garden hose and turn it on full blast. Then you drag the spurting hose out to the rose garden. You shove it into a large bush. Water sprays everywhere. Grandma, you shout, come quick. The roses are drowning. Will Grandma fall for your plan? Find out on page 16. Ooh, maybe she will. I'm hungry and thinking of burgers now. Who did this to me? Who shall I blame? Reveal yourself in the chat. I've forgotten. Okay. Grandma, you call again, louder this time. The roses. Grandma dashes toward you. Oh, CJ, you and Frank. Okay. How could you? How could you? Grandma dashes toward you. She spots the hose and yanks it out of the bush. It gushes water. We have to turn it off in the garage, you tell her. I don't think I'm strong enough. Grandma eyes you suspiciously. She murmurs, but she heads for the garage. You follow right behind her with your fingers crossed. Grandma enters the dark garage. You hold your breath. Yeah! Sophie shrieks, leaps down from a stack of cartons. She lands right on top of Grandma. Andrew hurls himself onto the struggling pair. Sophie squeezes out from under Grandma and Andrew. Andrew wraps Grandma in your badminton net as they roll over and over. You rush over. You and Sophie hold Grandma as Andrew wiggles out of the net. Grandma stops struggling. You never would have gotten away with this if it weren't for this dinky human disguise, she snarls. You humans are so weak. You drape your bicycle chain around her and snap the lock shut. But we got the best of you, you retort. That was easy. You, Sophie, and Andrew run out of the garage. We did it, Sophie cries. We actually captured an alien. We'll be heroes, Andrew crows. But you can't join in the celebration. You've just thought of something terrifying. Sophie and Andrew dance around on the lawn. Then they notice your face. What's wrong with you? Andrew demands. We had a great plan and it worked perfectly. We got the alien. Yeah, we did, you say slowly. But there are still all of those. You point to the rose garden. The rose garden filled with purple, pulsing eggs. Grandma called those roses her babies, you explain. Those must be her alien children, and I think they're about to hatch. Sophie gasps. If they hatch, we'll be totally outnumbered. Should we call the authorities right now, you ask them, or do we figure out something to do with the eggs? Andrew and Sophie don't say a word. They just stare at you. It's up to you. I'm not fucking calling the cops. We're dealing with this ourselves. Page 115. We better do something about the eggs, you decide. I think Grandma will stay put for a while. You, Sophie, and Andrew approach the rose garden. We got another YouTube subscriber, which again has nothing to do with what's going on here. Hi, YouTube. Hello. One day I'll be able to live stream to you, and until then, these notifications are just unrelated. But welcome, new subscriber. Okay, we approach the rose garden. Dozens of large purple eggs lie scattered on the ground. They're not pulsing or glowing anymore. What do you think they are? Sophie whispers. I don't know, you admit. They could be alien food or alien flower bulbs. Or little alien monsters waiting to hatch, Andrew adds. You glare at him. Thank you for pointing that out. You gaze back at the rows of roses, wondering what to do. And you can't help noticing that it's getting dark. What if we stick them in the fridge? Andrew tugs at his messy hair. It would be too cold for them to hatch, and we can have them analyzed at a lab tomorrow. Or maybe we should squash them. You know it sounds harsh, but it might be the safest thing to do. I kind of like the idea of refrigerating the eggs, so I'm going to refrigerate the eggs. I think that's a great idea. Refrigeration is the way to go, you decide. You, Sophie, and Andrew gather up the eggs. It takes you each 3 trips to get them all into the house. By eating the leftover plate of chicken, throwing out the Brussels sprouts, and rearranging the milk and juice, you manage to fit all the eggs in the refrigerator. By the time you're done, it's dark outside. Guys, you say to Sophie and Andrew, not that I'm scared or anything, but would you mind sleeping over? They must understand how you're feeling. They don't even tease you. They just exchange a nervous look and say yes. The next morning, the sun streams through your bedroom window. You stretch, wiggling your toes and fingers. Then you freeze. Your heart pounds hard in your chest. Noises. Downstairs. You leap out of bed, trying to avoid stepping on Sophie and Andrew in their sleeping bags. Wake up, you whisper. There's something moving around downstairs. Sophie's eyes widen. Grandma! The eggs, Andrew gulps. You, Sophie, and Andrew sneak downstairs. You huddle outside the kitchen door. On 3, you instruct them. 1, 2. Your voice shakes with fear. You gulp. 3! With a shout, the 3 of you charge into the kitchen. You tear across the linoleum and smash right into your mom. She shrieks and drops a plate of scrambled eggs. Your dad jumps up from the table, scattering his newspaper. Mom, Dad, what are you doing here? You demand. I got an emergency call from work, Mom explains, cleaning up the mess. That's what I told you on the phone at the train station. Remember? That was a while ago. So we cut our trip short. We just got in half an hour ago. We didn't want to wake you. Where's Grandma? You sneak a peek at Sophie and Andrew. I guess she's still sleeping, you mumble. Well, it might be true, even if she is sleeping in the garage. Sit down, kids, your mom commands. I made a huge breakfast. Excellent. You, Sophie, and Andrew wolf down 3 big plates of scrambled eggs. Even your dad, who usually only has coffee in the morning, manages to finish a second helping. Funny, he says. I can't stop eating these eggs. You suddenly have trouble swallowing. Mom, you ask? Where did you get the eggs? You aren't happy when you hear the answer. From the refrigerator, silly, she tells you. She scoops up another forkful. Did you buy them? They weren't there when we left. You gaze at Sophie, then at Andrew. Then you stare down at your plate of food. Were they, kind of unusual looking? You ask your mom. Come to think of it, they were rather large. She thinks for a moment. And a strange color. Your stomach does a flip-flop. You've been eating alien eggs. Have you ever heard the expression, you are what you eat? You're about to find out how true it really is. The end. So we eat so many alien eggs that we turn into an alien egg? Or did we eat so many alien eggs that we turn into an alien? What's the answer, RL? You can't just end the book there. Grandma's still in the garage. Also, the eggs are huge and purple. What do you mean you just made breakfast with them? Okay, so this is what's so we're gonna squash the eggs instead of refrigerating them, even though. Oh, did I not mark that page? Oh, fuck. Hold on, one sec. I didn't mark the page. 115. Oh, I did mark the page, but the thing fell down. We have to squash the eggs, page 126. You're probably right, Sophie says. We should destroy the eggs. Yeah, Andrew agrees. Better safe than sorry, I guess. Do you think stepping on them will work? Sophie asks. They look awfully big and sturdy. One way to find out, you tell her. You stride toward one of the eggs. You lift up your foot and bring it down hard. Kaboom! Whoops. Guess you didn't notice the little purple landmines mixed in with the purple alien eggs that Grandma placed in the yard. Oh, goddamn, I can't read it all today. I'm so sorry. Grandma placed them in the garden to protect her babies. Oh, well, better luck next mine. The end. Yeah, we got booby-trapped and died. Yep. So there's no good outcome in that path. All right, let's find out what happens if we call the authorities. Page 49. The eggs can wait, you decide. We don't know how long that badminton net will hold Grandma. We should turn her over to the authorities before we do anything else. You, Sophie, and Andrew head back into the house. You grab the phone in the kitchen. You pause, uncertain. Who do I call? You ask. No alien hotline in the phone book, huh? Sophie jokes. What the fuck is a phone book? My mom says to call 911 if there's an emergency, Andrew suggests. Well, his mom would say 999, and that would be useless information. An alien in the garage qualifies as an emergency, you declare. You punch in the numbers. Unfortunately, the emergency operator doesn't believe you. When she stops laughing, she scolds you for tying up the line. Someone could be trying to phone in a real emergency, she reprimands you. This is a real emergency, you insist, but it's too late. She already hung up. You slam down the phone. Now what? You mutter. You don't know what to do next, so you sit at the kitchen table and scarf down a few brownies. That's the best idea we've had all day. Then you glance out the window and notice someone sneaking around your garage. Come on, you shout. You dash out the door. Andrew and Sophie follow on your heels, but you're too late. The guy has already disappeared into the garage. You charge through the door and gasp. Grandma's transformed. She's covered in green scales and has sprouted 7 arms and 3 heads. All 3 heads are smiling into the intruder's video camera. What's going on? You demand. I'm interviewing your grandma, the guy explains. She'll be a great story. Cookie, Grandma scolds. You're in the way. You'll block my best angle. Best angle? With 3 heads, there are plenty of angles to choose from. Your grandmother was telling me all about her home planet, the reporter tells you. I'm so sorry I had to frighten you, dear, she tells you, but I really needed the publicity for my new movie. Huh? Seeing your confused look, all of Grandma's heads laugh. Everyone knows you've got to come to Earth to get your big break, she explains. Lots of celebrities do it. But, you sputter, what about the eggs in the rose garden? What about the fight we had when we captured you? That's easy, Grandma scoffs. The eggs were a dandy lunch, and the fight, well, she shrugs. I'm afraid I staged it. It was this young man's idea. She nods one head at the reporter. He thought it would make a good lead-in. So, Cookie, what do you think of your grandma now? Your head swims. My grandma? Are you saying that I'm an alien like you? You feel faint just asking the question. Hold it, the reporter yelps. I've got to change tapes. No way am I going to miss the story of the century. Shut up, you shout. You notice Andrew and Sophie hanging back in the doorway. Their eyes are wide open, staring at you. It's a lie, you wail at them. Cookie, how can you say that? Of course it's true. Grandma holds out her 7 arms to hug you. This is great stuff, the reporter cheers. Child discovers alien identity. Alien confesses all. I see a promotion for me. At least somebody's happy here, you think. Cheer up. 7 arms could come in handy. And maybe if Grandma's movie's a big hit, she'll let you be your manager. The end. This makes sense, yeah. This is the best ending. This is the mini golf ending. Okay. So, now we're going to introduce Andrew and Sophie to Grandma instead of spying on her first. This is our last thing in here. Stop being ridiculous, you scold yourself. What's the big deal about a silver jumpsuit? Your own mother wears mismatched socks and goofy hats. Come on, you tell Andrew and Sophie. I'll introduce you. The 3 of you stroll across the backyard to the rose garden. The flowers are unusually large and have a strong odor, almost sickeningly sweet. I've never seen roses that color before, Andrew says. Notice that he won't say which color. Come to think of it, neither have you. Oh, he just said now he is. Okay. Blue roses, striped roses. This is one weird rose garden. Striped roses do exist. That's a real thing. But he was saying how weird that they looked for the longest time and then not saying why they looked weird. And I just wanted to say I'm glad he finally did it on this, the last thread we're on. Okay. Grandma stands as she sees you approaching. Oh, goody, she gushes. I enjoy meeting new people. Cool flowers, Sophie compliments Grandma. Thank you, dear, Grandma says. Why don't you take a closer look? You, Sophie, and Andrew wander into the thicket of rose bushes. Some of them are so large they tower over you. You gaze at a bright green rose. Whoa, is that a pair of eyes staring back at you? I hope not. And that takes us to, this is the only time this book has done this. It takes us to the eyes on the roses blink at you. Sophie, Andrew, you choke out, run, but your warning comes too late, and then you turn into a plant. We've done it. We ended the book. And we managed to save the worst ending for last. So, I feel really proud of us. A very wild ride indeed. My voice is tired, but this was a great book. Thank you to everyone who voted for it.
I'm in
Oh,
there
even though
like
you just resubscribed,
swimwear.
tier 1, 43 months. Thank you so much for continuing to be a valued member of this community.
You go, girl.
What I think I'm going to do is end the stream here. But then, because I feel like we should still go for a little bit longer, because even though it's not a streamathon one, it does feel like we should have like a special long stream. And I think we could go for a little bit longer. We'll do like a special like bonus crime stream, or I'll play Fortnite and listen to the Challengers soundtrack. Does that sound good? Or maybe, we can listen to our dive bar songs. We'll listen to the dive bar songs and play a little Fortnite on like a bonus crime stream. We'll just go for a little bit, maybe an hour tops. But does that sound okay to all of you? Because I think it would be very fun. Sounds like a plan. All right. Yes, this was a tarot. This was absolutely one of my favorites. I loved it the first time I read it. I love that the grandma is only a secret agent in 2 of the plot threads. I love that there's 4 different kinds of alien she can be. I love every element of this. There are so many gruesome deaths and so many silly outcomes. The fucking ghost train. Exceptional book. Exceptional book. Thank you everyone who helped reach the Egg Fund goal, very appropriately named in retrospect for my birthday month. We have a new Egg Fund goal for June. It is the GEG Fund. Depending on how we're feeling, if we reach that goal, we'll either do another one of these Give Yourself Goosebumps read-alongs, or we'll do a streamathon, just depending on what the vibe is and what people think. That'll all be put up to a vote. Every element of this will be chosen by you, as it'll be your thank you. So of course you'll get to pick. Thank you to everyone who participated in the hype train that would happen at the beginning of the stream. That was on a train. So appropriate. Very cool. I think everything's been linked in the chat, so I think we are good. But yeah, I guess the best thing we can do here is just remember to never trust authorities. Your grandma's an alien, but it depends which kind, and never eat scrambled eggs. Okay, I'm going to hit the bye screen, but then I am going to be literally right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to go to BRB. BRB, I'm going to run to the restroom. I'm going to end stream and start stream again. I don't know what order I'm going to do that in. All right. See you in just a second. Farewell. Farewell.